Happy New Year and welcome back, everybody. This is our first show of 2023. It's We Are Soccer. We're happy to be here. Lots to talk about, I think. As you can tell, I've lost my voice a little bit, struggling here. Don't mind me. But we do have a lot to talk about. Lots of fun at the U.S. Soccer Federation. U.S. Soccer Momma Drama coming up. A lot of things like that. Zidane has also turned down the U.S. men's national team coaching job. We had some FA Cup upsets, which made me cry. I sprawled out on my floor for a long time today. We also have lots of rumors of players going here, there, and everywhere. Some of them will probably come true. Most of them will not. Did you get sucked in? Because that's what gets clicks and papers and reads. So we'll talk about that. And is your club implementing a wage structure? Do you know what that means? Is it good? Is it bad? We'll discuss. I think we have opposing views from people on this show. We will see. We definitely had a big discussion about that on our Facebook page today. Lots coming up there. Oh, and Barcelona are back atop La Liga for the first time in a long time. We've got it all on today's episode of We Are Soccer, so be sure to stick around. Why don't I throw it over to the boys at the kids' table? Gentlemen, Nate, Brooks, how you doing, boys?
Doing fantastic. Low level week. Not much going on. Not much going in the realms of, for this guy, coaching and the rest. Still on a bit of a break. So everything's going great for me. And then to my left, the man that is more exciting than a Stuttgart-friendly win. 3-0, by the way, if you're paying attention. Yeah. More surprising than a Villa FA Cup loss. And he kicks harder than a men's national team coach at a bar. That's right, the one, the only. Ladies, he's single. He's always willing to mingle. Mothers, hide your daughters. It is the Brooks Lambier Jr. Always two.
Love it.
Thank you, Nate. Very much appreciated. I'm glad you had a good weekend, by the way, and that your holidays were good as well for both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Cooked 6 meats.
That's impressive.
5 meats.
That was impressive when he showed us those photos.
I just kept going.
Yeah, that picture of the food you cooked on Christmas.
Was it a 5? Was it 5 stars for everything from the family?
Yeah, it was 5 stars. I was a little bit, honestly, admit because I'm my worst critic, as we all are in life, and I was a little bit disappointed in the primer I made because I kind of messed up in the beginning part a little bit. Won't go into details of what I did, but it came out just a little. It came out mid-rare, and I'm a rare guy, so it wasn't bad. It was really good, actually, like the seasoning and everything like that. But I just, when you envision making something and doesn't quite turn out exactly like how you wanted it, that's kind of what happened. So it wasn't rare like this guy would like, with the juices flowing out in the red pink center, blood red rare. That's me. It was more of a lighter pinkish mid-rare, which is still good. Actually, more people like that, I think, than anything else.
Very nice. All right. Lots to get to. Obviously, as we're calling it, U.S. Soccer Momma Drama has been the headline for the past week and a half here. Lots to get into with Berhalter, the U.S. Soccer Federation. Oh, someone's walking in the door and handing me thank you delivery, man. Excuse me, guys.
Oh, we have better security here.
Yeah, so did I.
Okay.
Dear Craig, love the show. Please spotlight my Brooks more often and let him talk more. If you don't, I will tell everybody what you did last summer.
Mrs. Lambier is a lovely lady.
Signed, not Brooks's mom, anonymous fan. Interesting. Brooks, looks like we're going to be swapping spots. You can sit here, I'll sit there, because I don't want anybody to know what I did last summer. All right,
the movie?
Could we?
Yeah. With Freddie Prinze Jr.?
I do want to spend about 30 to 40 seconds here so everybody knows what happened with the Berhalter, the Reynas, and U.S. Soccer situation. Because I have had a couple of people in the last few days ask exactly what happened in the timeline. All right. We do know that Greg Berhalter and his wife have been married for 25 years.
They got a few kids, right?
They have 4 kids.
4
kids.
Dang.
Happily married, have had no incidents since they've been married. 31 years ago, while they were both 18 years old, there was a small incident. Greg kicked his girlfriend at the time. The cops were not involved. Both families were made aware of what happened. Greg sought counseling and then took care of himself and hasn't had any issues since then. His girlfriend, Rosalind, then came back to him a couple of months later and said, I'd like to try again. They tried again. They got married, 4 kids. Everything's good. The only people...
This happened all yesterday?
This happened 31 years ago.
Oh, wait a minute. So
Yes.
not yesterday.
Not yesterday.
So
31 years ago. He kicked his girlfriend, now wife.
Yesterday.
No cop.
Wait, this happened yesterday.
31 years ago.
Oh, wait a minute. So before...
You need to write notes down.
No.
Nate.
So when he took... So as a national team coach, he kicked his wife? That's crazy.
No.
He wasn't a national team coach
18 years old. Right.
Oh.
When he was 18 years old.
You know, one time when I was 18-year-old, it was 18-year-old.
I wouldn't say this live on the air, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, we got together. We did like a pro wrestling thing where we threw each other on thumbtacks.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do that anymore.
We all do dumb things.
Yeah.
We all do dumb things when we're 18, and I'm very glad that when the dumb things I was doing when I was 18 aren't publicized now. But so the only people to know about that incident were the 2 families and their very close friends. Their very close friends were Claudio Reyna and his wife, Danielle. Those folks knew. Danielle was Rosalind's roommate and teammate. They played soccer at the time. All right, all very well and good. We continue on through everything, the careers. Now, we get to the World Cup 2022 in Qatar. Gio Reyna, son of Claudio and Daniela, is told that he will have a bit part to play in this World Cup. He will not feature. And you know what? That's 100% the right of the coach. My dad always tells me, you do what your coach says. You may not agree with it. I may not agree with it, but he's the coach. You do what he says. And you know what? Unfortunately for Gio Reyna and the Reyna family, Greg Berhalter, although he is a family friend of theirs, decided that Gio should not be a big part of the World Cup. That's his preference. He's the coach. Well, as soon as the World Cup ended, there was a private meeting, a private executive leadership meeting that was supposed to be 100% private and not made public, no recordings, nothing written down, where Greg Berhalter gave an example of one of the U.S. men's national team's players who was not a good teammate at the World Cup. This got leaked. He didn't put a name to it. We all figured out it was Gio Reyna. We all figured it out, okay? This happened. It was a private meeting, a leadership meeting. This was not supposed to go public. I know this because Brooks and I had a conversation with a U.S. men's national team player recently about this. So, 100% private, that should have been. It got leaked. We all figured out it was Gio Reyna. Well, Gio Reyna's mom didn't like it. She called up the U.S. Soccer Federation and said, you know, it's kind of shitty how Greg threw my son under the bus and everybody knew it was him, and no one came out and said anything about the incident that happened 31 years ago between him and his now wife, where he kicked her. U.S. Soccer Federation Director Ernie Stewart had an obligation at that point to investigate. That is his job. He got made aware of an incident that involved a high-level person like Greg Berhalter, and he had to report it, and there had to be an investigation. The investigation is not yet complete, but it should be complete very soon. This is what's come out. Because a mom decided that a coach didn't play her son enough and then maybe threw him under the bus, but not by name, in a private meeting that shouldn't have gotten leaked.
Shouldn't have happened. Private meeting shouldn't have happened.
It was a meeting put on by U.S. Soccer.
The private meeting shouldn't have happened.
Explain that.
You work for a company, I work for a company, you work for a company, our viewers work for a company. Imagine if your wife or somebody's unrelated person was able to call and talk to the president of that company. Why is he even taking a call from her? Who is she?
Just a mom.
Yeah, that's my point.
But
she should have never took the call.
She should
But
never.
it's- but the
Ernie
difference
Stewart
is-
should never
She
have taken that call. I see
she
where you're
should have
going.
never gotten through to Ernie Stewart.
No. There's the difference here is that Claudio works as a GM for an MLS team,
And-
and he worked for one when Ernie Stewart was with Philly, and
That
they've
doesn't
all
matter.
played together.
That doesn't
So they're
matter.
all-
They've
That
all played
doesn't
together.
matter.
They all know
does-
each other.
That doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Because the
She
problem
can
with-
pick up and call Brian McBride or Ernie Stewart whenever she wants.
No, Ernie Stewart does not work for MLS. Does he? Does he work
But
for
they
MLS?
all know each other
Does
personally.
Ernie Stewart work for MLS?
No, he works for U.S. Soccer.
He was for
Thank
US
you.
Soccer.
So he doesn't work for MLS. So there's zero business affiliation between Ernie Stewart and the Reinas at this point, correct?
She can get to them whenever she wants. She have their personal numbers.
She should not be able to get to them whenever she wants. He should not be accepting that call. She has no business, and he has no business talking to her about any of this. That was the problem from the beginning.
I'm going to agree with you a little bit. You shouldn't be accepting a call from a mom who's probably a little upset right now. But
That's what caused an investigation, because he is right. As soon as you get notified of something like this, of this incident,
you have to report it.
If
legality
Danielle
reasons, you
Reyna
have to.
You
called,
have to report it.
that's different if we're going to Parlo Cone for this. If Danielle Reyna called Ernie Stewart
And
and,
he shouldn't have taken that
McBride,
either.
how do you know what she was going to call about and what she was going to
shouldn't-
say?
Maybe she was inviting him to Christmas dinner.
Exactly. Maybe they just
I
want
agree-
to talk
I
about
get
some
both
personal
stuff.
sides.
call that could happen. That's personal. This was not a personal call, which led to the investigation. He should not be taking a call from someone who has no affiliation with your federation. Claudia has no affiliation. Dan Garber is the president of MLS.
Don.
Dan, who cares? Claudio works for him.
Claudio Reyna played for the men's national
It
team,
doesn't
and everyone
matter.
everyone
That's
within
the
MLS is
problem.
affiliated
That
with
is
women's
the
soccer.
problem.
Regardless, this is what happened. The call was taken. Probably
Shouldn't have been taken.
Shouldn't have been taken. It was taken, and then he found out, and he had a responsibility to then report it to the higher ups and the rest of
He's
the board.
stuck at that point.
And at that point, he's stuck. Now, before all this came out, we all had discussions and arguments about whether we wanted Greg Berhalter to be the coach or
Question.
not. Let's question from the man in the back. Yes, we're in the white shirt.
How did this private investigation that was going on with a private phone call then get leaked to the press?
Okay, hold on. I think you got a little confused, so hold on.
Yeah.
Greg Berhalter was asked by U.S. Soccer, I believe it was December 10th, to after they'd been eliminated from the World Cup,
Right.
asked to present at a leadership
I
meeting.
remember that. Yes.
Okay,
That,
a
I'm not
private
confused with that.
meeting that should not have been recorded,
Yep.
should not have been anything. Now, the only people we know that were there are people who were invited. The Reinas were not there.
Right.
Were not there. He gave the example of, someone said, give us an example of, where you had to be a leader and you had to use your team. And he said, listen, the example is there was a player at the tournament, at the World Cup a couple of weeks ago, who was not playing well.
I know all that. But
Right.
that's not what I'm talking about.
He didn't say names.
Yes.
Now, that example that he gave should not have come out to the public. The three of us saw it and were swapping text. We did not know it was a private meeting.
Yep. So,
Correct.
But that's not what I'm talking about. The private investigation.
The investigation done by U.S. Soccer.
Yes,
on
because that
Berhalter,
is
yes.
private.
Uh-huh.
That got leaked.
Yes.
That was going on, as well as the conversation that was also private between Ernie
No,
Stewart.
he didn't. I thought Berhalter came out and said there was an investigation, and that didn't get leaked. That was out front by the PR people, by U.S. Soccer.
Yeah, U.S. Soccer came out and said, listen,
yeah.
But
this is
why
why
are-
the contract hasn't been renewed.
Yes, they
because we're doing an
explained.
investigation. And Greg Berhalter came out and said, I am being investigated, and this is what happened.
Exactly.
Why are they coming out and even saying that, though?
And this is to my point that I think this is U.S. Soccer's PR and
to save
communication
face.
failure.
Save face from what? All this stuff is internal and private.
Exactly. It's a failure on their part because they couldn't keep a private matter within the realms of U.S. Soccer and within the people. And why didn't they go to Greg Berhalter and say, do not use this example? If you have something to say about it in this whatever conference he was doing,
But again,
do
it was-
not use
so
this
again,
example.
It was a private meeting.
that's-
I agree, I
that's a
agree.
point.
I agree.
So,
This is what you do as being a former journalism major from Michigan State. Like, this is what you're taught, like PR 101. Like Like, you don't give things that people can use as ammunition for like to write stories on or to get out.
Unless,
like, this is why you have a PR job, is to prevent this. And I think U.S. Soccer's done an atrocious job. And this is just not the first thing. This is many different things that they've done a horrific job of trying to keep things internally, or how they present things to the public with their statements they make has been atrocious. And I think this is more, it's not so much for me that Daniel Reyna called and bitched about things, and that Greg came out and he had to come out and say, this is what happened and everything. This is something that easily could have stayed internal, no one knew about. We could have kept it. It would have been amongst the players and the coaches and the people at U.S. Soccer. This is a failure on U.S. Soccer's PR part, and they need to figure that out.
I don't think it's a failure on U.S. Soccer's PR part. I think he's being railroaded, and I think people are trying to push him out.
You think that people within
Oh,
US
I'm
Soccer
sorry.
push him out?
Yeah,
I mean, no one likes his brother.
Pardon me, but you had a private
meeting?
Not meeting, the Berhalter conversation class, whatever the hell that is, private, that somehow got leaked.
Yes.
That got leaked. Then this got leaked.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on. You know what I mean? It's too many coincidental of private things getting then leaked out. I think he's getting railroaded, if you ask me.
Sure, and I could see that too, because I think it all stems from Jay Berhalter hired his brother.
Yes.
Jay Berhalter was the biggest concern for a lot of people that worked at U.S. Soccer, that left U.S. Soccer and wrote awful reviews on him on Glassdoor and such and Yelp.
Oh, really?
Because he was the reason why people left, because he was apparently a tyrant, and he just was not easy to work with. So I could definitely see your point, Nate, to where it is a vendetta against him because something happened to someone that they knew, or a family member or whatever.
There was also something that came out that Greg Berhalter's son, who was playing for Austin FC, Sebastian, was loaned out, or I think he was being loaned from Columbus.
Yes,
If
so
I'm not correct.
Columbus to Austin.
And then Claudio Reyna cut the loan short and sent him back to Columbus.
No. He was with Austin till the end.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to. Then he went back to Columbus.
Okay.
He didn't resign. Caleb Porter didn't want him, and then Vancouver signed him.
Okay.
And maybe that's a discrepancy. Maybe Josh Wolf wanted him because obviously Josh was under Greg when he was at Columbus, when Sebastian was there through the academy, after he signed playing 1 year at UNC. But from my understanding is that he was there. He played a little bit, maybe didn't play as much as he thought he was going to. Maybe he was pissed off about that. Came back to Columbus. They didn't want to resign him. And then Vancouver picked him up, to sign him to a contract. So I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Either way, there's a lot of stuff that's gone down here that shouldn't have gone down. And a lot of this stuff, as Nate said, shouldn't have got leaked. It's absolutely terrible. It has made U.S. Soccer look like incompetent.
Yeah.
Made us look like clowns.
Yeah. And I
think clowns.
Well, and that's my point. In any normal corporation, any normal organization, your president does not take a phone call from someone's wife.
Or wife or mom, absolutely.
Or mom.
But this is the thing.
You don't do that.
So I think this is the thing, and I saw a comment on this, is we all wanted U.S. Soccer to change where we had soccer people in positions of higher power.
And this is what happens when we get all those soccer people in, right?
Because now everyone's in the bubble and everyone knows each other, that now I can do this.
Everybody knows everybody's secrets.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
No.
That's why if U.S. Soccer was smart, they would put people that in certain positions that are not within the soccer community bubble that can come in and do their job.
I completely disagree with that statement.
This is what it is when you're within the bubble and everyone can get you.
It really doesn't happen in Germany, and they have all sorts of former players and all sorts of former coaches, and all sorts of former guys part of the program. This is what happens when you have a network of guys that are tightly knitted, And so I'll agree with that point. You shouldn't have this tightly knitted network of single guys coming from one area. That's the problem.
Correct.
You can use former players all day long. But you have to diversify.
They're all part of the same group and the same national teams they grew up on.
Yeah, well,
yes.
And
then to make
you have that in other countries as well, but
Yeah.
it's more of a diverse pull from this.
Yes.
Right. This has always been a good old boys network. This is what got Klinsmann railroaded out of here.
Yeah.
Years ago, which was my biggest gripe, and then they brought in Bruce Arenas. We did piss all, for it. I got a couple comments.
I didn't know this too, by the way. Let me just, before you read comments,
go.
Is that I didn't know this. Besides Jurgen Klinsmann, I think every national team coach has been from the Northeast, New Jersey, New York.
Every national team that is a.
I mean, was that Region 2?
How nutty is that?
Is that Region 2 or whatever?
But that's my point.
It's a good old boys network.
It is, and it has
The Northeast is
And
very
that
much a
cannot
boys
happen anymore.
network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this is where Kurt Johnson's actually coming in. This is what happened. Days of our U.S. national team drama. Greg and this little front office triangle completely messed this up. Completely messed up situation and a disgrace to the organization. So I think what he's with you and I, where this is going to hopefully blow all this shit up and be done with it, which is I've had issues with that long ago. I mean, the Burhalls are hiring. In what company, organization, whatever?
Does your brother hire you?
No, not even that.
Do you get hired with a record?
Not even that. I don't even care about that. Do you guys understand they openly admitted that they interviewed 0 other people?
Exactly.
They interviewed 0 other people.
Yeah.
Didn't even fake it. Didn't even, like in where I come from, that's illegal. You can't even if that's your guy,
correct.
you still got to go through the process.
Correct.
You still got to go, we bought in
You have to interview one or two
Felipe
other
and Bill
people.
and Gunter and Bob. And, at the end of the day, he was still our guy, right? Like,
correct.
you go through the BS interviews anyways and just kind of fall asleep through them or whatever they do.
In any real job,
Yeah.
in any other part of the world,
It doesn't
that's
happen.
what happens. Not U.S. Soccer Federation, though.
I know the joke is too is they were with all the women's stuff going on about fair pay to play and everything. Like, you would have thought that, okay, we need to interview multiple people and of diversity or whatever. So that didn't come about. That's the funny thing. That's the irony of
agreed,
this
100%.
is that they want to fix this situation, but they keep shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, we could beat this down all day long, but to me, this has to go down. I don't want to say a scandal. I don't know what the right word is, but just an embarrassment. This goes down next to the Lance Armstrong, next to celebrities paying to get their kids into college, next to the Reggie Bush thing. This is a terrible. This is a disaster. Nate, looks like you've got.
We got
online.
a couple ones,
Yeah.
a couple comments, but one is a good one, which is from Adam here. He's wondering if this is going to impact you at all. Maybe his thought is maybe good teams have a second thought about before they take a chance on him.
It cannot impact the kid. This is not the kid's fault. He's 18, 19 years old. He made a mistake by not playing. Not being a good teammate. I guarantee he's learned his lesson from this.
Yeah.
Absolutely 100%. He is going to be a better person, a better player for this. Are you going to – he could be one of the top players this country has ever seen. Are we going to vilify him for something his mom did? No, I'm not willing to do that. I'm willing to say the kid made a mistake, and I guarantee he didn't know what his mom was going to say because he probably would have told her to shut, or he probably would have kicked her. Whoa, I remember that one.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it should. And U.S. Soccer has come out and said, no, this will not affect him. Because he did nothing wrong. He apologized to the team. He got back, and he played and did his part and tried to help them. So I don't think it does, and I don't think it will.
2 more. Zach's coming in saying that I should be the manager and that I did an amazing job at Manchester United, a team that I ran years ago. And I'd have to agree with him. If you see my FIFA record, it's truly remarkable.
Oh. Man.
We'll have to take
very
your
good.
word for it, Nate.
Yeah.
I'll post a picture.
But
of
again,
it.
this goes back to everything is like my PR comment was you train people, you sit down with coaches and players and you train them. If someone asks you a question or whatnot, this is how you respond.
Yeah.
Right.
Or if you're put in this situation, this is what you do. And it's crazy. It's just like everything.
You say that, and even in
Even at the club level.
college kids are told.
I know.
This is how. Hey guys, we're about to start the season. If you get asked for interviews, you say no and you send them to us.
Yeah.
If we feel it's good, we'll send them to you.
But then we train
and
you
this
for
is
the
how
questions.
you answer these questions.
Yeah.
They train them. How are
You
they
get the
not
questions
training half these
beforehand.
people,
I
right?
know.
I agree. Regardless, this entire situation is, we've said it for years, parents, soccer parents, and hockey moms and soccer moms are the worst.
Sports moms.
Sports moms. We've now proven that soccer moms are the worst. There's nothing worse. Even it happens at U7. U7 girls playing down here.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes all the way up to the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah.
U.S. Soccer Momma Drama. I don't think in any other part of the world this would happen. I think that only happens here in the USA.
Well, in England, it's your wives telling on.
Well, the wives
you know,
and the girlfriends.
like
But
what
they're not
Vardy
getting a
and
hold,
Rooney's wife.
And they're not
Yeah.
bringing out blackmail type stuff, right? Like someone the coach did when he was 18.
Well, I mean, I am now. You know all the dirt I have on the other Jags coaches? I mean, you know. Hey, guys, remember...
Well, let's hear it.
You know, no, I'm saving those eggs for later when Sydney needs to be put on that green team or the NCL team. So she didn't make the NCL team. Do you remember you at the bar on December
Remember that Stingers,
2022? Because I do. I took really good notes.
Remember that one time we visited Stingers after that game?
Yeah.
Remember?
But then it's just
That's
going to
how
be
Nate
turned around
scouts.
and they're going to go, yeah, we do remember that, Nate. I'm going to go, oh.
Ooh, yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah,
how
so
Nate scouts.
Let me
Nate
let
scouts
me
other
burn this real
coaches.
quick.
Nate scouts coaches for blackmail, where I just scout players for talent.
Problem is, they just sling it right back at me. They're like, hey, we've seen your social media. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me delete all
That's
this.
the thing, right? You gotta be careful what you say because everybody's got skeletons in the closet.
Got
All
a
right.
couple more comments,
All right,
Mark.
well, go ahead and read the comments, then we're going to move on to who the U.S. men's national team tried to hire, and we'll put our thoughts to that.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
Mark is coming in saying, great show. Nate has a face for radio. I'd have to agree with him. Have to absolutely agree with him. Kurt's coming in saying Gio's a club coach. And then finally, Lindsay saying go Lions. And I'm thinking she's...
Does she know that Seattle won?
Doesn't matter.
That's true.
Crap on Wisconsin.
Sorry.
Let's go.
Sorry,
True,
anyone
true.
from Wisconsin.
Those cheeseheads.
Yeah, sorry, Wisconsin. We apologize. All right, so as was mentioned earlier, every single U.S. soccer coach has been from where?
New York or New
Jersey?
Jersey? So
New
region
Jersey.
region 2?
One.
Except for one.
Klinsmann.
Some random German.
From where, though? Where is
Stuttgart.
Klinsmann? Yes! Yes! Yeah!
Gold star for Brooks there. All right, except for one, Jurgen Klinsmann. All right, now U.S. Soccer made a bold run at one World Cup winner. He's won the Champions League 3 times as a coach. He's won the Liga twice as a coach. He's won everything. Everything he puts his name to, he wins.
He even headbutts people.
He even headbutts people.
Yeah.
Zinedine Zidane. They sent a proposal and a big offer to Zinedine Zidane. He didn't even look at it. He said no. Out of hand, said no, I'm not doing it. Well, that's crazy to think. One, U.S. soccer is crazy to think that he would actually look and think about or entertain
Why
the
would
offer.
you want him?
100% agree. We'll get to that in a second.
You just try, Nate.
Why would you want
You
him?
try for the prettiest girl in the bar. You try for the most attractive coach out there. That's a
I
free
mean,
agent.
does U.S. Soccer know that they can't bring Benzema onto your national team with them to win you? Like,
He's going to try to use the Zidane magic to win us a World Cup in 2026.
Now, I will say, I thought this was absolutely the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Because anybody who's ever read anything about Zizou knows he is devout French and he wants to coach the French national team. And he wants to go to a really high-profile job. Real Madrid, Chelsea, those type of Juve, those jobs.
That was
U.S. soccer is not that. It's not even close to that, right? I thought this could be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Then Portugal made a run at him.
And Brazil.
Portugal also made a run at him.
Yeah.
Brazil made a run at him. Brazil's a little less crazy compared to U.S., right? I mean, Brazil, they've got some players. They've won some World Cups. They got some players. He said no.
Maybe Belgium should have made a run.
He did not look at any of the offers. He said, without doubt, not going to any of those countries, thank you, but I don't speak the language in those countries. I am not interested. He has made it known recently, after receiving these offers, he only wants to coach one national team. So he reiterated, I only want to coach France. He's not going to be coaching France anytime soon because Didier Deschamps just signed a new contract to take him to the end of the 2026 World Cup. So Didier Deschamps We'll be coaching France for the next 4 years. France have a very good young team. We had a good discussion between the three of us.
They were smart. They would get him in as an assistant to take over when he's done.
Yeah, in transition, right?
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, we've signed Didier Deschamps as the coach.
Yes.
But Zidane, we'd like you to come in as an assistant.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
coach.
How many?
So that would mean he gets the Euros in 2 years. Then you're like, I'm done. Here he goes, Zidane.
Zidane is not an assistant coach to anybody.
Just out of curiosity, I'm sorry. How many national teams has Zidane coached?
Do you?
How many? No, how many?
None.
Zero?
None.
Cool. How many World Cups has he won as a coach?
0.
Okay, cool.
You
And
think he's going to
Deschamps?
take an assistant coaching job? You really think Zidane is going to take an assistant coaching job?
It would be great for the program. Imagine how amazing. You don't think it would be great for the program? Let's take the egos out of it. You don't think that would be an awesome thing for the French program?
I was skeptical
One of the best
about-
players
I
ever.
was
One of the
skeptical.
best club coaches around. No, he is not.
One of the
doing that.
best. What is in that friggin' Powerade? What do you mean one of the best club
He
coaches?
won at Juve. He won it at Real Madrid. Won everything at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He left on his own accord twice.
He's not even. He's won everything
He
at Real
picks
Madrid.
his own jobs. He picks his own jobs.
Yeah,
he is.
he
so
is
good.
not one of the best close. No, not even close.
What
Pep.
Okay, so hold
Klopp.
on. What would determine the best?
Ten Hag.
Well, not yet.
What determines the best?
Being
club
able to go
coach?
to multiple leagues with different teams and make them better.
2 leagues, or it's got to be more than 2 leagues.
He-
Got to be more than 2
Did he make Madrid better, or did he just take a team that was already good?
in consecutive years to win.
Did he make them better?
3 times.
Did he make them better?
Absolutely.
When
made
they
them better.
no, he did not. And actually, when it looked like they were going to struggle, that's when he quit.
We're gonna have different
Is he a
opinions on that.
decent? Is he a decent club coach? Sure. Best of all time? No, not even close.
Sure.
Not even close.
That's fair
Back
because
to
he
the
had
original
talent.
topic.
He had a lot of talent.
Do
at
you really
Madrid.
think Zinedine Zidane would take an assistant coaching job?
Does he want the French job? How part
He
is
wants
it?
it as the full-time.
Well, he ain't gonna get it for 4
manager
years
job.
because guess what? There's no way you're gonna get rid of a proven winner, and that's what Deschamps is a proven winner. You're not getting rid of a proven winner for a guy who hasn't done anything. So if he really wants it, I guess he can wait 4 years then. Unless
he's
catastrophe
willing to.
happen.
I think he's
Or
willing to.
if he really wants it, he can become part of the program and make things better.
No, he has no desire.
That's on him.
He has no, and I don't know the man, but in my opinion, he has no desire to be.
I mean, I was
assistant coach
talking
and
to
play
him
second
yesterday
fiddle.
and told him how ridiculous. No, just kidding. Anyways, the whole USA offer to Zidane is the second most ridiculous thing I heard this week.
The first thing was Gio Reyna's
A
mom calling the US
31-year past old investigation on someone who is now married to the person who you're investigating on was number one.
Yeah.
That was a really close number 2.
Could USA Soccer have made any more fools of themselves this past week, the past 10 days?
Why
Could they
would
make
you
bigger
offer-
fools of themselves?
What would you think? Why, again, he's not going to Madrid. You don't have those players. And I have no data point to believe that he's going to go into a team and make them better than what they are without a group of players that are already fantastic, which is what he got at Madrid. He didn't go to, I can make an argument that Pep went into City and built a team that's very, very good right now. You can make that argument. Klopp went into Liverpool, built a team that's very, very good and won things. Archuleta went to Arsenal, took him some years, has a team that's very, very good. Zidane rolled into Madrid and went, sweet, you're all really awesome. I'm just going to keep going with what's going. Cool.
Why? Who
Yeah.
would think a man who cannot speak English, who has no idea about the MLS or any players probably associated with U.S. Soccer, besides maybe Weston McKinney, Dest, and Pulisic, and maybe Reyna.
It's almost like-
how is he going to lead this country to the next World Cup?
Well, it's like the
How?
big joke of almost like Thierry Henry at Montreal and being like, oh, it's time to draft college players, Thierry Henry. Like, Thierry Henry doesn't freaking watch college soccer.
Yeah, he has
I
no
mean,
idea.
Montreal doesn't want anything to do with
We've had
most of
this
those college
conversation
players.
several
I think.
times about managers in the MLS.
Yeah.
Clubs who are looking to hire managers in the MLS. You need to hire someone who is ingrained in the culture here in the USA.
Or wants to learn
understands
it.
college soccer, understands USL, understands lower division soccer here.
Yep.
That's the exact same thing we've been talking about. And USA Soccer just said, you know what? Zinedine Zidane hasn't had a job for several months. We could hire
Well,
him.
the thing is, like,
I like Kurt
I don't
Johnson.
care how much money you
I
throw
like
at him.
Kurt Johnson's idea here, which was it was all trickery. It was all just like get him talking about something else.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh.
Well, he's not going to take it anyways. There's no real risk there. We'll just toss this out and look over there.
What if he had taken it?
Shit. He'll never take this. I'll take it. Ah, damn it.
Oh, shit. You see, the thing was, we weren't actually. Oh, crap.
Offer him a low contract. I'll do it for free. Crap. This has really turned out bad.
That is the craziest thing. Brooks, you look like you wanted to say something there.
No,
Sorry.
just like Kirk had some comments just like, we have coaches here to coach the USA. Like, listen, those guys he listed are good coaches for the pro level and the level they coach at. One could probably, obviously was an assistant on an MLS side, and maybe he probably wants to be in the front office as he progresses later into his professional soccer career. But to coach, people don't understand, to coach a men's national team, which it's tough for the U.S. because all the great players like a Dempsey or a Donovan or they're just not. They're not a Zidane. They're not, a Von Hall. They're not any of these guys that were great players or that have come into the game, adapted, coached the club at the club level, moved around. We don't have that. Like, besides, Bruce Arena doing what he did at the collegiate level and back with how they played, in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then with Bob Bradley, it's kind of funny. We're going to ask who wants to interview for the job, and is Jesse Marsh a good fit? Well, I don't know.
I'm seeing people say Jesse Marsh.
They are.
Why would he leave the best league in the world?
But that's not my point. My point is
this shit show.
My point is domestically, who else would you take? Maybe Cherundolo, and then I think you're looking international. Besides all that, you know what I mean?
But
I just don't know who else you'd ask to coach the team.
But do you, at this point, with what's going on, do you want someone domestically? Do you want someone ingrained? Because it sounds like the same tomfoolery that's going to happen.
Sure.
Continue to happen.
Sure, and that's the thing is there were no politics with Klinsmann, which was nice.
Right.
It was his way or the highway, and people didn't like that. But I think
and Klinsmann, even though Craig hates him, shut up, Craig. He did
change.
He did improve a lot of.
And he
different
was the
things.
one to start that we need to get guys that were dual nationals into the U.S. system.
And
this was not a Greg Berhalter thing. People think it was great. It was not.
Nope.
But Berhalter has continued it. I think he's done a good job getting young kids
He has done a
involved.
very good job.
And he's done a very good job.
Yes.
Now,
No, and that's the sad thing because honestly, I think he has done a decent job, but you can't bring him back.
why not?
Because it's too much noise and what just is now happening.
It's a distraction.
You now have a divided locker room. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
There are going to be some guys who absolutely can't stand him because of this, or players that don't like him because of this, and there's going to be some guys who are totally on board. Yeah. You have to have a clean start. You can't bring him back. And it's not his fault.
I don't think he's a two-cycle
coach. The fact is,
coach.
it's not his fault. Sucks because I wanted him to come back because you know what They did do a very good. In my opinion, they did a good job in the World Cup.
Correct.
They qualified. They did really good in qualifying. Excuse me. He was bringing these young kids up and through, and I think
I think there were two things people dislike about Berhalter. Okay, maybe three counting after what just happened. One, he was hired by his brother, U.S. Soccer, which not a lot of people.
Not his fault.
Which is not his fault, but everyone's going to hold against him. Two, his decision and his late decision making of bringing all the players in he did and not, fine tuning it as it got closer to the World Cup and the players he had to select.
Which is his fault. He could fix
Absolutely
the second
100%
time
his
around.
fault on that, for
Which
sure.
he could fix the second time around.
And three, this incident that just popped up, which was really not his fault.
Not his fault either.
Right. Exactly.
But here's the thing.
But I think people hold number two against him a lot because
Yeah.
he didn't get the player selection right.
He did,
and he
and
kept
he did a
fooling around
good
with
job
things
at
when
it.
he needed to. Yeah.
But Didier Deschamps got rehired by France, or a new contract put in for him, because he has done such a good job in the last 7 years of bringing young players up.
Yes.
Well, that he won a World
team,
Cup and.
But the
ultimately-
French
hold on.
national team is a
Hold on.
lot different.
We've
Even though
seen-
the U20s, the men's national team, the U.S. U20s did beat that French team in the World Cup.
We saw them win
Yeah.
a World Cup 4 years ago.
Yes.
Right. they've brought a lot more players along since then, and they are geared. I think they are actually, excuse me, the bookmaker's favorite to win 2026.
Probably.
And that's why he was rehired, because they are, and he has done such a good job.
And possibly the Euros.
And that's all depending if everyone stays healthy and no one gets injured and there's no
that's
shit
why
show.
I think
That matters.
Berhalter
If we
should
lost
continue.
5 starters this time around, made it to the final still.
I think it does. Because that could be 5 starters that messes up the continuity of the locker room.
It didn't in this World Cup. So
I mean, he's lucky he controlled Benzema, and Benzema didn't go off a little more because he could have played when he had, brought him in.
Didn't need Benzema. But here's the thing.
I'm just saying, though.
Didier Deschamps has done such a fine job with the young players, getting them in and grooming them up into the starting role. And they needed to change halfway through the Argentina game, right? The final. And they did it with the young players, and they did it. And wow, what a team they have. Yeah. Now, the USA Soccer, we are we're the second youngest team in the tournament.
Correct.
Right? We're the second youngest team in the tournament. And they did very well. Now, 3.5 years under the same system, under the same guidance, under the same tutelage, they're going to be better. But it's a shame that Berhalter can't come back, as you said.
Correct. But the scary part I have with keeping him is if he was that slow in making decisions, and there is just more talent, as if everyone follows on social media and such, as we keep getting closer to 2026. How is he going to decipher throughout that talent if he couldn't decipher easily who the top players were in this one? Because he's got a lot more people coming up the pipeline. You got Paxton Aronson over at Frankfurt now. You got Malik Tillman, who keeps scoring goals at Rangers, who Nate thought should have been in there for this World Cup.
Tillman keeps scoring for Rangers.
I mean,
absolutely right.
You just
added something. You want somebody to jump in a box.
But as Nate said, that's a learning lesson. That's mistakes he made. And every coach makes mistakes. Those are I think.
But the thing I don't like,
right? He's not coming back. He can't come back because of the distraction it's going to be.
Agreed.
It's
but
unfortunate.
The thing that scares me if he was brought back, that there's so many of these other players he can select from that he has such a hard time deciphering. It's you have the national team. You got to be quick and you got to know, because you have to develop that continuity and you need to know what you're going to do. That's my thing with the national team coach. It's so much different than a club coach, that you have to be quick and make quick decisions and change on the fly, which he's not good at.
And this is why I'm not really sold on Marsh.
Sure.
This is why I'm not sold on Zidane.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, like you said, national team coach is a completely different animal.
Yeah.
It's completely different than club coaching.
I mean, why do you think Roberto Martinez, who just took the Portugal job, it's like he doesn't want to go back to club. He likes doing national team stuff because...
Which I think he's going to be great there, by the way.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But he likes national team stuff. It's a different setup. You bring the players in you want. You kid the system. You're not trying to train to play, It's a whole different thing where you have instead of a club where you have these guys every day to do stuff. Mm-hmm. Some people like the quick turnaround. I mean, it's almost like college soccer. Like, during the season, we don't have time to prepare for the next opponent. Sometimes you do in the World Cup on the international stage, but it's such a quick turnaround that some guys are very adaptive to that and they like that.
It's national team coaching is completely different from club coaching. We know this, right? There's a big difference between getting to see your players every day and then getting to see them once every 2 to 3 months.
Or how about, hey, I need a left back, go buy one.
Exactly. You can't just purchase one.
Hey, you
have to make do with what you have.
Yeah, we'll go to the transfer market. Yeah. You can't really do that. You have what you have.
It is going to be interesting to see what U.S. Soccer does for the next coach. And they have said Berhalter is still in the mix.
I think they have to say that legally because you have an ongoing investigation, but I don't see how you bring this guy back. I'm sorry, and it's not his fault. And it has nothing to do with anything that he did. And I'll put all that aside. I don't think you can bring. This is not even year one of a 4-year process, and already you're having issues.
Well, you have to make a decision quickly with this because you don't have a lot of time. You think you have 4 years, but you don't have a lot of time with those players.
What, qualifications too, right?
No qualifying.
But
you don't, yeah.
But no, you don't have to qualify. But the thing is,
Nations League, right?
But yeah, it's correct. But the thing with this is that you're automatically in and everything. But this is the time, this first and into the second year, where if you want to bring those young players in, I mean, he was screwing around too late with bringing these players in at the last minute. years 1 and 2 is where you bring those players in to see if they can even compete with the guys you know that you're for sure gonna have in those camps.
I think you have 12 months before you have to really do anything.
I think you need to really know by 2.5. So what? 24 is 2. So what? 30. Well, no. What's half? Oh, no, my math sucks.
6 months? You can just say 6 months, dude.
No. So 2.5 years. By that 2.5 year mark, a year and a half before the world, you need to know you're
that's why I said
30 or something.
You have 12 months.
Yeah.
You have 12 months to find a new coach.
Yeah.
Really. And then you have 3 years to iron all that out.
Yeah.
Alan's asking, do you think U.S. Soccer is just hoping he goes away on his own? I think someone is, whether it's U.S. Soccer. Yeah. I think, I'm sorry, there's way too many coincidentals, way too many leaks, way too many private conversations, way too many whatever that's happened way too quick for someone somewhere not be trying to hedge something against him. I don't know if it's U.S. Soccer as a whole. I don't know if it's just a singular person. But someone's out to push him out.
Correct.
Right.
And
that's a good call. I think they're just hoping he goes away. But unfortunately for them now, because of this whole incident, he's untouchable. No one wants to hire him. No club in the world is going to want to hire him.
It's going to be a while.
With this following around. And again,
there's got to be an MLS team that'll hire him. There's got to be one. I mean,
not right away.
No, he's going to have to go into punditry or commentary for a little bit or disappear for 6 to 12 months.
Yeah. Maybe a USL team.
I think everything I've heard, this is something he did when he was 18.
Can he be an understudy for DCFC?
It's not that big of a deal. Can you what?
Can he be an understudy for DCFC?
Yeah.
So maybe, Kirk brings up an interesting...
Maybe we could ask him to be the assistant coach of the U.S. men's national team.
So Kirk brings up an interesting point where he said Greg hesitated and got scared. He didn't get scared. It's just... It's the game of not certain of what he wanted to do. It's not that he was scared of doing it. It's just, and listen, we've all been there with everything in our lives. We have choices to make that we're uncertain. But at the end of the day, when you need to be certain in this situation, when you're in a position like this where you're making the choice, you need to be certain of what you're doing. And the problem was you could always tell whenever he brought in players and when he would do tactical things, there was just a thing of uncertainty. It wasn't scared to me. It was just confidence.
So let's take what real player examples. Take the forward position, which was the one who was the most glaring. He totally crapped the bed on player selection there.
Yes.
He should have ironed out who he wanted to, and that's what you mean months before. Get him in, get him working, and then stick with it. And then those are your guys riding in, not what he did, which was, oh, hey, Pepe's been with us, and now he's gone.
Yes.
And now we're going to bring in Sargent. Well, Sargent has been in for us for a long time. Why are you bringing him in? Well, I don't, Norwich. Okay, well, that doesn't make a difference. And then Hawaji Wright, out of nowhere, there you go. He hasn't been in for months as well. Mm-hmm. So then I think that's what you're talking about is he should have ironed out well before going into the friendlies prior. Who is my team? Who is my strike force? And then roll with it. And that's not what happened. It was kind of it happened with some positions like Musa, your midfield. That was ironed out, but then other positions were just roll of the dice.
Your front players and then some of your backline players.
Which actually was the front player and they had the backline players kind of ironed out too.
They did. Besides maybe a few backups, like Shaq Moore was a surprise for a lot of people.
Your starters were there, and that's what you need to have, your starters ironed out and what it's going to go with, and he didn't really have that, at least for the forward position. It was a complete crapshoot.
Correct. But it's just, it's... Again, national team coach, when you come in, you need to know what you have. If you're willing to bring in players, it's almost like sometimes in some of these MLS academies, when they want to bring in players from like people outside their territory, they're like, well, let's bring in everyone. And it doesn't matter how many times we scouted them, how many times we did whatever. We're going to bring all of them. They're all going to come in. We're going to bring them in a few times. And then we're going to select them after that or whatnot. Right. Like, you can't do that in the national team. Like, you're a professional. This is the highest level of soccer. Like, scout them, go watch them live, watch them on video all the time.
That's kind of his job.
That's your job. If they weren't doing that as coaches or they didn't have a clear-cut answer, like, if they were still on the fence about some guys, like, then go watch them more. Like, you need to be able to evaluate and tell the difference between the talent you have and who's better and who's not. If you can't do that as a professional coach and hell as a national team coach, why are you in this situation?
And that was Scully. If you go back months, maybe even a year ago, Scully's big issue, and until Gladbach campaigned for the kid, was I haven't had a conversation with Bullholster. I haven't, you got this 18-year-old kid that's lighting it up in the Bundesliga who's an automatic starter. You haven't had a conversation with him.
Yep.
He hasn't called you and said, hey, caught your performance. You're on my eye. Just by the way, what's going on? It takes 10 minutes. It's kind of part of your job, is it not?
Exactly.
And again, no coach is perfect, right? Berhalter made some mistakes. He didn't contact people. He didn't get people in at the right time. The last-minute decisions, the one that got us was Haji Wright. Where was Pepe? He's been your guy. All of a sudden, you leave him out. We hear that Pepe hung up the phone.
Yeah, that was unprofessional too.
Very unprofessional. I know he's a young kid and he's disappointed.
Yeah, but I think that was done by his agent too, because I've heard things that his agent was very upset. He kept calling Berhalter a lot, and he kept pestering him about the decision. But
I get it, but you can't hang up on the coach and then.
Why is that coming out too?
Steffen,
that's again. Why is that coming out?
The Zach Steffen stuff.
Why is that relevant?
Pepe put that out, I believe. He put that out.
Yeah, I know, but this is what I mean. Now it's a big pile on too, and
but
this is what I was.
Steffen was mental issues, like him being homesick and everything. But again, like I said, if that was a case a few years ago or whatever, then why did someone say, "How can we get you back to MLS so you feel better?" That's why, again, everyone thinks, oh, Europe's the end game, and that's where, all the best, sure, sometimes, but for certain players, playing here and getting playing time and feeling comfortable and feeling good is just as good as heading over to Europe, and that's an owner decision, but, there was a lot of interesting things that happened in this player selection.
There's Nate. Did you have something you wanted to share?
No, just Glenn Hearn coming in hot with Ronaldo sucks, even though he scored today for some team that nobody knows about in some league.
No, he didn't. That video clip is actually from when he was playing for Juventus in the yellow jersey.
Oh, what?
Oh, yeah, they had those yellow jerseys.
You had. I watched. If you watch the full video, you see him score the goal, then he goes to the corner to celebrate. When they pan into him, you're like,
you see the J.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It wasn't so much that it was had as I don't care.
Yep.
And I went, oh.
But Ronaldo does.
So you know what's funny was
going.
Someone on our Facebook group posted the triangle of swapping of Ronaldo, because he took the guy's number and then they got rid of the guy, and now he's at Besiktas, and then the guy that Besiktas that Man United want to buy to replace Ronaldo.
Which I have reservations on that guy.
We're gonna talk about that coming up in the second hour, and because that's part of the rumors. About Weghorst going to Man United, Maguire supposedly on his way to Villa, but then Fabrizio saying no.
Not surprised.
We'll talk about, but yes, that triangle, as you're saying, Ronaldo kicks out this guy. Who goes to Besiktas, who kicks out this guy, and it ends back at United, so we've just got this triangle. I love how someone also took the picture of me laying on the floor and put that in the center. Mike did that. Thanks, Mike P.
Man, I missed a lot not being that online that much today. I'm busy.
You
Damn.
did miss a lot. Speaking of kids going to Europe, we've had several this week. Two would like to point out. One who has a very famous father. The other is the U19 national team coach for the USA. Josh Winder is right now on trial at Benfica. Good for him. That
USL player. Louisville City.
Bingo. Now, I have spoken to quite a few players in the last couple of months, young guys, and they've all said the same thing, Brooks. I know you're going to hate to hear this, but their goal is to go to Europe. This is where they want to go. These young kids, I did speak to one whose name I won't mention, but you know very well, last week, and he said, "Yeah, man, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing this, and my goal is Europe someday." So, good for him. But that's the thing. Go test yourself. They want to test themselves over there. I think they've maybe not proven themselves here 100% yet, but if the opportunity comes, you never know if that opportunity is going to come again.
It's like the college guys that all want MLS, but they don't understand that they're USL level. It's like, I need the opportunity, but the problem is they don't watch enough, and they will never be honest enough to decipher of how talented they are and if they can go toe-to-toe with the MLS talent.
Yeah,
And that's the tough thing when you're a player because, right, you think you're the best when you're the player, that no one can touch you.
But here's the thing. USL Championship here is the second division of U.S. Soccer. You're earning this. The second and third division in other countries, you're earning this.
Correct.
So you may not get to the Premiership. You may get to the Championship, or you may get to whatever, La Liga 2 or Serie B.
Yeah.
And you're not earning this in the second division. You're earning this. Top division money, second division money.
Yep.
Second division American money.
Yeah.
You're not earning much. So these guys, that's
Correct.
a path. David Beckham's son, Romeo Beckham, played for Inter Miami, the team David Beckham owns.
MLS Next Pro. Inter Miami too.
Yep. And he didn't even play for the first team, Inter Miami. He played for Inter Miami too, like we said.
Phil Neville's son did, I think.
Yeah. And now he's gone and signed for Brentford.
B team.
And the B team. Yeah, excuse me, yes. Brentford B team. Good for the kid, though. He kind of goes, I want to try it over here without my dad. My dad owns the team I play for now.
Should've went
I
to
want to go
Stuttgart.
try it over there. He's only on loan. So he's going to play to the end of the season in England, and then he'll come back to Inter Miami too.
You don't think Daddy set that one up at Brentford, though?
No.
Hey, man. I
You're
mean,
like, who? David
But-
Beckham.
Romeo.
Hold on one second.
Beckham.
Bob, you ever heard of a Beckham?
nope.
Not ringing. No? Not yet. Sorry, sir. We have no idea who the hell you are.
Play for the English national team, Susie? I don't know.
So you kicked your wife when?
Could have taken the easy. He could have taken the easy way out. Sat here, gone through preseason training, and tried
Should've
to
went to
make
Germany.
Inter Miami one, but went over there. Did you say when I said the easy way out? He could have gone to Germany.
You should.
Did
No,
you
I
just say that?
should have went to Germany.
Should have went to Germany.
Is that the easy way out?
That's not the easy
No.
way. That's the
No.
path to pro.
Nor-
there,
Norway
baby.
would have
Someone
been the
offered
easy
him a
way out.
spot.
Norway.
Someone
Yeah.
offered him a spot at Brentford B, so he took it. I mean, good for him.
We got spots in Stuttgart. What do you want to do?
He'd probably make the Stuttgart first team. Chirp, chirp.
I mean, the Villa first team loses a
In the
league
second, in the second hour of the show, you can have fun with the Villa result today. Excuse me.
Hey, raise your hand if your team won today. Put your hand down, Craig. I don't care if it was a friendly.
In the second half of the show, we'll talk about the FA Cup upsets. Yes, Villa were one
Even
of
though
them.
mine was a friendly, yours should have been a fucking friendly.
Oh, God. I'm embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed for Villa by the Villa today.
Hey.
Newcastle also lost.
Parody.
Chelsea got thumped.
MLS.
We're going to talk about Graham Potter, and we're going to relive the words that we all spoke about 3 months ago when he was hired. We're also going to talk about Alex Gimple. He's a young lad from Michigan that we interviewed recently, and he is playing down at the MLS Academy at Columbus. We've got rumors, and much more rumors coming up. MLS is back as well. Those players have gone back to training camp, this week. I believe they were all due to report on Thursday. I know specifically the New England Revolution met up on Thursday. Saturday traveled down to Orlando. They're in a bubble in Orlando, and they're training down there for a couple of weeks.
Portland's back. Woo! Yesterday.
Portland's back yesterday.
I'm
Yeah.
wearing a
Believe
special
most of them are.
MLS shirt, so when you guys talk about that, I will look good while I sleep.
Lots.
What?
MLS is getting, I believe, the season kicks off in mid-February, early February.
Yeah, like late February, I think.
Late
We have to
February?
check the schedule when we talk about that, but yeah.
But there
Yeah,
are
Mark-
friendlies
Marty
coming up
will
at the end of January here, so they're getting back up and ready to go. If anybody can remember who the MLS champions were from last year, let us know. We definitely know.
Oh, I do. Want to know why? Because I want a bracket.
You did win the bracket.
Yeah.
You did.
I did.
You finished first.
First.
Brooks finished second.
Yeah.
I finished third.
Yeah. It's not my fault. I just went with the hot hand. The hot hand being a Craig Hearn interview. The Craig bump.
The Craig bump.
The Craig bump.
With Mr. Kellen Acosta, who we were lucky enough to talk to.
Did he thank you?
He did not.
He should have. But wait. He may have not said thank you, but did his eyes, as they gazed into yours, scream of gratitude?
He did.
Yes.
That's definitely
Good.
what I got
Good.
out of it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he said, "Oh hey," was it more like, "Oh hey," or was it more like, "Oh hey"?
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, and the second one we all know is actually the long version is, "Oh hey, thank you very much for giving
Yep.
me the career push that I really needed to excel in the
By
profession that I
interviewing
wanted to do."
Yeah, on
And I'm forever eternally grateful for you. Let me take a picture with you and your son. Don't call Nate because that will make him cry.
You nailed it. You
Yeah,
nailed it.
yeah.
You nailed it.
Especially that last part. You
Yep.
son of a bitch.
We nailed it. You nailed it.
Hey,
now,
hey, look what I did! Something fun. Yeah,
Kel-
thanks for letting me
Kellen
know.
Acosta.
You suck.
Kellen Acosta and a bunch of the other pros, MLS players, Herman Trophy Award winners.
Yeah, Michelle Cooper won for the women.
There were a bunch here. Jalen
Yeah.
Howell.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Spinastra, Courtney Peterson,
Yeah.
2 UVA. So Courtney's from, I think, Livonia.
Bunch of players were in town to train with Next Level Training.
Yeah.
Aaron Bird, Next Level Training. Oh my word! It was fun to watch them knock the
Yeah, it
ball
would have been
around.
awesome to watch that. If only someone would have let us know, Brooks.
It was supposed to be private, and I may have been the leak on that one.
Yeah.
Well, when
You
we
see how things
were
get
when we
leaked,
filmed
right?
Oh no, you kept it private. You kept it private from us.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
we didn't know about it.
I released it afterwards.
Yeah, like it was
But
definitely
those pros
private.
were in town, and they were training with Next Level Training
Mm-hmm.
and Aaron Bird and the group there. I will talk about that a little bit more.
I will
as we
cry
get
through this
come out of
segment.
the break.
Yes.
All right, boys. I'm gonna get something for my throat. Maybe some more Powerade and a cough drop, and we'll be right back in a couple of minutes. See you soon. welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. I have a cough and I'm under the weather, but nothing will stop us from bringing you We Are Soccer.
Wait, hold on.
Except for next week.
Aliens.
Aliens?
Yeah.
No, I think we could get past aliens.
Insect overlords? No way.
Maybe not you, but I could. I'm quick. Maybe.
They're insects.
But with all that being said, next week
Plasma?
we will not have a live show because I am actually in Florida playing soccer. So no live show next week, boys.
And Nate's at the convention.
And Nate's at the coaching convention. We will find a way to bring you some content, which you will enjoy.
Yes.
It'll be Brooks
all right.
dancing.
It's 30 minutes of MLS talk with Brooks.
All right, let's jump in and talk about something that's going to make me cry. Yes, the FA Cup was played this weekend. And for the 7th year in a row, Aston Villa were knocked out at the first chance they had at it. Third round is when Premiership teams get introduced, and for the 7th year in a row, as I said, Aston Villa were knocked out in the third round.
I think also 7th year in a row, United went forward in the third round.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
I don't know, who
good.
did they even play?
I don't know. Everton.
I won money in that game yesterday.
I mean, it's not like they're a third division team.
So before we get to Aston Villa, let's jump into that Everton. Frank Lampard's got to be on his way out. That is not a good situation.
No.
If I can bring up the EPL table, and we see Everton down in 18th.
Is that good? 18?
No, that's not good.
Sorry.
No.
Because I know in like Germany, that's bottom of the table.
No, yeah, because there's 18 teams in Germany in the
you're in
Bundesliga.
trouble.
Yeah.
That's
still
automatic
in trouble.
relegation.
And I'll be honest, out of the teams down here, I think Wolves have a chance of getting out. I think West Ham have a chance of climbing up. Bournemouth have a chance of climbing. Forest, I fully expect to drop like a stone. Leeds will go up a little bit, but Everton, I think, could be in real trouble. I think Frank Lampard needs to be fired. There have been protests this week from the fans of Everton. Sack the board, sack the manager, get rid of everybody involved because this isn't good enough. And I don't blame it. Did you guys know that they are one of the only teams in the Premiership to have been in the Premiership consistently? They have never been relegated from the Premiership.
Villa?
No.
Everton? Oh, I knew that, yeah.
Yeah,
Did
since
not know that.
1992.
Yeah.
1992, they were one of the only teams. There's several teams, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Everton. I think there's one or two.
Yeah, because
others.
Man City came up from below.
Yep. Man
And
City been
then
up and
Tottenham
down.
as well. Yeah.
Tottenham, I don't believe.
Or maybe they
haven't.
haven't.
No, they
Yeah,
haven't.
correct. Yeah.
But
Chelsea
Everton-
have, I know that.
Everton's usually that one that stumps people. Since the Premiership started in '92, they have never been relegated. I think this is their year. They're gone. So yes, a very nice win for Man United over Everton yesterday. Put them in their place. Nottingham Forest losing 4-1 to Blackpool. Bournemouth losing to Burnley. Burnley's having a nice run this year. Tottenham Hotspur winning 1-0 over Watford. Reading 2-0 over Watford there. Excuse me. Some other scores we did find: Sheffield Wednesday 2, Newcastle United 1. Newcastle having a great year, up into third in the Premiership. If we bring back that table here.
But
that.
Sheffield Wednesday only plays on Wednesdays, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Got him.
Newcastle United, and they started a very strong team yesterday against the championship side of Sheffield Wednesday, and they lose 2-1. Very disappointing there. The game was at Hillsborough. Liverpool and Wolves. Ooh, 2-2. Liverpool were actually lucky to get a draw on that one. Now I believe it's going to be replayed in 10 days. The game yesterday was at Anfield. Now it goes back to Wolverhampton. So interesting there.
Third most important game in the FA Cup, though?
Third most important.
Yeah,
What's
United, Villa. Third most important game? Wrexham.
that? Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes,
Punching
sir.
above their weight.
Yes, sir. Did you guys watch that game at all?
I did.
I didn't.
I
You
did
that?
watch that game.
I
It was
thought it was-
actually, I thought they played very well.
Yeah. That was super entertaining. I
Yeah.
mean, Excuse me, I took a sip of water. I thought, yeah, exactly.
Excuse me, everyone. He's
At the 68th minute mark, they're up 4-1. And I got to say, Paul Mullen has to be one of the most
I think everyone knows him.
Worldly known strikers who doesn't play in a top league.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Everybody in the world knows this guy,
Yes.
watches him scores goal, and he plays in the 5th tier.
But he's scoring against...
It's crazy. But he gets taken off because the manager says, all right, we're up 4-1.
Yeah.
70th minute mark. The other team, Coventry, is actually down a man.
Mm-hmm.
They're down to 10 men.
Yeah,
we'll take our
4-3.
star striker off. And it ends up 4-3. I mean, very nice free kick goal by Coventry to get it to 4-2. They scrambled one in for 4-3. And it very well could have been, it should have been 4-4 in my opinion. What a good game.
Fortunately, Birmingham City didn't play.
They had 4,000 people apparently show up. Away fans show up.
Yes.
4,000 traveling fans.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
the commentator or one of the reporters for Coventry City said that, or the manager maybe, Ian Rappert said that was the loudest he's ever heard the stadium with those 4,000 Wrexham fans in there.
Those Wrexham fans travel well. And
Yeah.
I think it's a lot to do with the show, right? There's a bunch
No,
of
they were doing
other
it before.
fans.
They were doing it before that.
They were. They
Of
love their
course,
team.
It probably is built with the number, with how success builds numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably built up to maybe more because of the success of what the way they've been playing. But I mean, there always been a large number of traveling fans for them. Which
Hey, Sunderland won. They beat Shrewsbury Town.
Shrewsbury Town. Do you know where they play? I don't think they play there anymore. They used to play at the home ground used to be called Gay Meadows.
Really?
Interesting fact.
Where is that Shrewsbury Town?
I have no idea. It's in England somewhere. I have no idea though.
Oh, okay. Well,
think
next
it's
to
in about
Shrewsbury.
they're supposed to come up with a
45
third
bucks.
season of Sunderland Till I Die, by the way. So I'm interested to see that on Netflix. Yes,
it's a wonderful documentary.
It's a good one.
Yep.
It's a good one, and I think they're in the championship now. So they've moved up a little bit. So it's good to see Sunderland going upwards again.
Yeah, but some interesting results, and the one we've all been talking about today. Very embarrassing for me. Aston Villa losing 2-1 to Stevenage.
Steven? Who?
No, not Steven.
Who's Steven on the team?
Stevenage.
And
they
English
are-
League One,
Not League One. No.
No.
They-
Keep going.
Keep going down.
National
They're
League?
92 fucking positions below the Villa. 92 positions below us, and they beat us 2-1.
You remember when
are they third division pro?
Brooks, do you remember when I
crap.
was sitting here and someone was like, "Nope, we got Champions League expectations because the Bucks and basketball and Bucks and
Sure.
owners and monies and Bucks and monies and owners and monies and Bucks."
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, who said that?
that's
that
cool.
Brooks?
That was a
Brooks
cool
is saying
story. I guess they don't want to win that FA Cup, huh?
No. Nobody wants to win the Tin Pot FA Cup.
Yeah, no one
You know
wanted
what?
that one.
Now
Just
we-
like he didn't want the.
Now we
the-
can focus on the league.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to start focusing on maybe one
We
day.
can focus on the league now.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wait,
We got that out of
so
the
they're
way.
not even a pro team, Stevenage,
They are a pro team, yeah, they are.
but they're not in League One. Are they in League Two?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
And VJ also says the guy named Steven probably could have beat them too.
No comment, VJ. No comment. Aston Villa did what they normally do. They controlled 80% of the game.
Hey, to be
One
fair,
goal.
Stevenage is in second place in English League Two, so it's not like they're at the bottom.
Yeah, it's not like they got lost
not like
to a
they're-
slouch or anything.
It's not like they were going to get
Yeah.
relegated into the.
Hey,
come
find
on.
out their highest paid player on there too, just out of curiosity. It's probably not even close to the lowest
Let's not do
paid
that. Let's not do that.
Yeah, and then
Google.
find out the lowest paid Villa player that played that day, and let me know what the delta is.
Oof, not good.
Oh,
But Villa
man.
make wholesale changes in and around the 75-minute mark, and
That was a good idea.
goes downhill from there.
Yeah, that was a
Transfer
good
market
idea.
UK
Downhill
have.
from
Let's see.
there. It was not good. The other game that did happen today, let's say big game.
So, according to this Transfer Market UK, the highest guy they have is on here. Not everyone's listed. $450,000 for Daryl Horgan, the left midfielder,
Oh, is
out
that
of
450?
Scotland, who's
A week?
30 years old.
Wait, is that a week?
That's what they paid for him. That's a transfer.
That's the
value.
market value for him.
Oh, they're paying him that a week?
No. That's
No.
it's the
That's-
market
That's
value.
if you wanted to go buy him for your team. you
So
would have to pay
bi-monthly
that.
is what they're paying him?
Bi-monthly is probably not even paying him. He's a plumber.
Oh.
But yes.
What's his full-time job? Just that's that.
I don't know. They're kind of old though. They have like a
He's a shoe
34.
shiner.
They have a 34-year-old, a 31-year-old.
Villa just got beat by a men's over 30 team.
They pretty much.
They do have a 19-year-old on this roster, but yeah.
Yeah, they pretty much.
Kirk coming in, little giant versus giant. Yeah, I would agree. Villa is a little giant playing that Giants of what was the name of this?
Stevenage.
Stevens.
Stevenage FC.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Right.
They're in
I
second
got
place in the
nothing.
English League too.
Oh,
Come
well,
on.
good for them. Good for
Yes.
them.
One day they might be a real team.
Play
who makes it to the Premier League first? Wrexham or Stevenage?
Well, Stevenage is ahead on that one.
They're a division up, right?
Yes,
anyone know
and
where-
they're possibly getting
That doesn't
promoted to
matter, yeah.
League One.
Does anyone know where Stevenage is on a map?
I don't know. Let's Google.
All right.
What does Mr.
No
Google machine tell you?
idea.
Is it outside of London? It's got to be
Where
outside of London.
is-
Everything's outside of London.
There's like 92 teams in and around London. It's
How many
crazy how many teams.
horse farms does Stevenage has?
3.
Impressive. It's a booming community.
It is. Oh,
You
God.
have no idea how to justify
Beer
where it
League
is.
versus Premier League, according to Kurt.
It is
Which one's the beer
east
league?
of Luton.
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 That
Yes.
means nothing to you.
No, it does not. It does
Northern.
Nothing to you other than
Northern.
Please tell me, Mr. English geography man.
No, it's not going to bother. Not going to bother.
Why?
Let's just say it's
'Cause
a
he
very
doesn't know
small
where it
town
is.
that's about the size
It's
of
north
Novi.
of London.
Everything's
north
north
of
of London.
Yes.
It's about the size of Novi, the town.
Really?
That's my guess.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this just in. Apparently, Villa got beat by Livonia Bullets. Or the equivalent.
Equivalent.
It's
the
north of
old
Watford. It's really east of east of Oxford.
Why don't you zoom out?
All right, moving on. It's
Yeah.
we have other topics
yeah,
other than
moving on.
Craig's
It's
lowly
really
team
east of
getting their head
Ipswich.
kicked in by
How many times can Craig be embarrassed today? by
How many
Villa?
times can Brooks mispronounce these names of these towns? That's the real
Yeah,
question.
earlier you said
Ipswich?
Ipswich.
Ipswich?
Norwich.
Norwich. Sorry.
The W
Norwich.
is silent.
Norwich.
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 And I don't even
W's
want
aren't silent.
the W is silent. Norwich.
You don't do
Is
that.
it Northampton?
Northampton?
Is Northampton or Northampton?
Yes, I'm with VJ.
Northampton.
Nobody freaking cares. Can we please move
I
on?
love
Sorry.
when Americans try to pronounce Leicester. Leicester City?
No, I knew that one.
Leicester City.
Yeah.
God.
Sorry.
All right. Anyway. All right. Moving on. We are moving on. The other game, the big game that happened today was Man City against Chelsea. That game was at the Etihad, seen by 51,000 people. Oosh is right. Man City 4, Chelsea 0. Now,
Chelsea just needs to go buy like 80,000 more players like they have
they
been.
are
and
trying.
Just keep going.
They
Just,
are absolutely trying. Do you know
they are buying way too many players. Yes, I do know that.
Chelsea has been knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Manchester City? They got knocked out of the FA Cup by Manchester City.
Hold on.
Oh,
Before you get
Jesus.
there. We have to move
We
on.
gotta jump back.
No, we have to move on. Go on. VJ, the W was silent at the Villa game too.
God, he's good.
Oh!
I think he's
No one
roasted
gets
all
it.
of us
No
on
one
this
gets
show,
it.
but
Oh,
he's
I
good
get
at
it.
this.
I get what it is.
Yeah.
It's funny. All right, go ahead.
Why did we allow fan interaction on our show? Remind
Because
me
of
again?
singers like that.
Yes.
Don't worry. My time's coming. I can't wait for Stuttgart to be battling relegation and everyone laugh at me and then say no one cares.
He's got me for the men's national team stuff and some other stuff, so I think he's roasted all of us, I think.
Except for this guy.
You know what? Next week we're gonna roast VJ. That'll be all right. Onwards. We're talking about Chelsea, who are now fallen to 10th position in the EPL. They've got knocked out of the Carabao Cup. And they got knocked out of the FA Cup.
They're out of Champions League. No, they're in Champions League.
I believe they are in Champions League, but
But we'll get knocked out by Dortmund.
But you brought in a new coach. You fired Thomas Tuchel. You brought in this new coach. You've given him a boatload of money. I mean, a boatload of money.
And all the rumors of all the guys they're going to buy.
They're not rumors. They're buying
they're
a
definitely
lot of
buying all
guys.
these
Probably
players.
like 10
It's
different
nutty.
people.
And that's just going to mess up their dynamic like crazy.
Yes.
Do you think, boys and everybody watching, do you think they will get into the top 4 and make Champions League this year? Because
No.
I got to be honest, I don't see it happening.
No.
And if they don't, do they keep Graham Potter?
So you
because I
can't-
don't think they should.
You can't do what they're doing, which is just randomly buying players that you don't even need or don't appear to need and trying to buy your way out of the problem. It doesn't really work. You're going to mess up dynamics and chemistry that was already there or could have been there. And that's what every other day I hear about how new players coming in. Hell, they signed, I think, 3 or 4 during this transfer window alone.
We get a lot more. And
You know.
we're only a week into the transfer window as well.
Does Chelsea finish below 10th?
No, I do think they finished in the top half, but I don't think they finished top 4. I think let's put that table back up.
I mean, Villa's only 3 points behind them,
Which honestly is sad to say for Chelsea's
and
perspective,
so is
right?
Palace.
Now Chelsea do have a game in hand. They've won 7 out of 17 games. They've lost 6 games, plus 1 goal difference. I mean, top 4 right now, you're looking at 35 points.
So they're 10 behind, but I don't
They're
think they're
10
going to
points
catch them.
behind
Yeah,
with half the season to go.
yeah. They're definitely not catching my Seagulls, even though they're only.
Oh, I mean, how ironic would it be if Brighton
Finish
finished
above.
above Chelsea after
Brighton
Chelsea
did
bought
beat
out
them
Brighton?
4-1.
Yeah,
Yes.
they did beat them 4-1.
Yes.
But over the course of the season, how ironic would it be, right?
Yes.
I do not see Chelsea making Champions League this year.
No,
The only way they're going to
Not
get
even
back
Europa
in is if
League.
they win the damn thing. I
Not
don't
even
think that'll
Europa
happen.
League.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
No, we called this. We absolutely called this. And so 1 or 2 people called us actually crazy for saying, you think they're going to fire him because he's going to be so... I think he's so bad they could actually let him go.
Yep.
Do you remember a time when this hiring happened and said, this guy or someone said, hey, this is probably a bad idea. This guy has no big club experience, and you're asking a lot out of him real quick, midway through a season. Remember that, Greg?
I think that might have been all of us, Nate.
Oh.
But
But I really hammered it home.
You and I definitely said it. And by the way, former Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel
Yeah.
is being looked at as possibly the new Barcelona coach. As Xavi is going to be possibly leaving. I don't know what's going on there, but the rumors are Barcelona sniffing around Tuchel. They might not be happy right now with Xavi, which makes no sense to me. But
Well, when you spend a lot of money and your results are meh.
Barcelona just went back to top of the La Liga, so I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know. I got to look into that a little bit more. But besides the point, it's a shame that Tuchel lost a job. New owner comes in. That's what happens, right? He wants to bring his own people in, have his own hire. He went for an English manager who was doing well, who did very well with Brighton last year, but overall, in the last 5 years, has a very poor managerial record. I believe it's hovering around 500.
Mm-hmm. And you can bring in your players, but the thing of it is you can't upend a squad in the matter of a few months and expect there not to be problems.
Right.
Correct.
Because you have to move some of the old guys out for the new. Otherwise, your old guys are still sitting in the locker room, and that ain't going to be good.
Right.
So that's not really happening. They just keep bringing in new players, and I think it's going to cause more problems than it's going to fix, in my opinion.
I agree. All right, I want to do one of our other segments, rumors. But before I do that, I want to talk about Soccer World. One of our friends at Soccer World, Rod, and I spoke the other day. I said, hey, Rod, I got a buddy who just blew out a shoe, and he really likes this particular shoe, the Nike Tiempos. Rod goes, yeah, I got them. What does he want, the Pro, the Elite, or the Classic? He gave me the prices. My buddy picked the Elite. He said, yeah, they're on hold. Tell him to come and get them. They've got everything at Soccer World. That fancy jersey you're wearing over there, Nate,
Yeah.
they got one of those too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Can I get my name put on it?
You can.
Oh, yeah?
In the shop, I believe they do
Oh,
put it
yeah?
right there.
Can I get a number put on it?
Yep.
Does it take months for that to come back? Because, it's special.
It does not. They can
Oh,
do it
yeah?
right on the Right on the floor right there.
All
for you.
right, on the right. Wow, wait.
Yeah, right away.
Oh,
Isn't that awesome?
wow.
And there are some big sales going on. I was just in Soccer World the other week. Big sales going on. Awesome stuff. I do not like going to Soccer World because I come out with a lot less cash. Because I buy everything. I come out with a whole lot of stuff. My wife yells at me. But that's okay. I'm happy because I get more soccer stuff. But no, if you guys are looking for soccer gear, they have everything you need, including ball pumps. And Brooks is always on the lookout for a good ball pump.
Yes,
As
I
I saw in
am.
the video.
You say?
Oh yeah.
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 And no, this shirt is not 2 sizes too small. It happens to be men's large. I'm just 2 sizes too big.
So if you guys are looking for soccer gear, head on over to Soccer World. They got 3 Metro Detroit locations, Rochester, Brighton, and Canton. Or if you are not from around this area, you can visit them at soccerworld.net. They've got everything you need, and a great website, by the way. So visit them. I mentioned before the break that I was invited to a special event that happened at this facility that we're in last weekend. I liken it to the movie Bloodsport. You guys ever seen Bloodsport?
Yep.
Best movie ever,
Big
right?
fan.
I have not. Is that Jean-Claude Van Damme?
It is.
Yes.
Brooks, you're so young.
It was just one of the movies that, remember I asked you, like, I didn't like Breakpoint or Point Break?
I might have yelled at you.
I think you yelled at me
Yes.
and you told me that I
This
have
is
to
one
see
of those movies,
Bloodsport.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was months ago.
Well,
too.
no, I
Still
wasn't
disagree.
watching.
I have homework to do.
I wasn't watching fighting. I was invited to an event that was closed to the public. You were only allowed to be here if you were invited.
Mm-hmm.
There was a U.S. men's national team player here. There was a Herman Award winner here. There was college standouts here. There was a MLS defender here. There was an MLS forward here. There were some of the top pros in the nation here under one soccer facility. They did a little 4-on-4 tournament. It's like the Kumite. You couldn't get in unless you had the special invitation. I watched for about 3 hours and was absolutely blown away by the fitness level of these guys, the technical ability, and the guys and the girls. There were girls mixed in. It was phenomenal. The girls, some of the best soccer players I think I've ever seen. You know who really impressed me? 15-year-old Chloe Ricketts. Interviewed her last year. She was competing against college guys, MLS guys, held her own. She was a stud on the field. Awesome. That event was put on by Next Level Training. So thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Next Level Training, for inviting me. There is a reason that soccer people around the country know Aaron Bird and Next Level Training. They come here. All these people were flying in for this little tournament and to do training with Aaron. It was awesome to see. I hope to get invited to the next one. I told Aaron I would like to play in the next one. He laughed and walked away. No, he did say I could play in the next one, so we'll see what happens.
Didn't he say all of us could partake?
He then did say I have to play on a team with Nate and Brooks.
This would be a winning team.
This would be a what?
Winning team.
On a 4v4.
Yes.
We need another one.
No, we don't.
Okay. And this is why
We'll throw Aaron in there. We'll allow Aaron to play with us. And
Aaron's team made it to the final. They got
we'll allow Aaron. I guess he's
Yeah.
okay enough to play with me.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
just,
Yeah. It was, so thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Next Level Training. I very much appreciate it. Thank you to Soccer World and Next Level Training, guys. We very much appreciate your help with our show. They help us every week, so very much appreciated. All right. Rumors. Let me pull the segment up. Here we go. Rumors. Did you hear? All right. Manchester United.
Oh, God.
Yeah. All right. Well, Weghorst. Nate, we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me get back to the graphic here. Let me get to your
Ooh.
graphic.
Oh, look at that graphic.
All right. Listen.
Nice. Yes.
Weghorst.
Bad idea.
Holland striker.
Yeah.
Played in the World Cup.
Yep.
Right.
Played for Wolfsburg. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Plays for Burnley, but he doesn't play for Burnley. They sent him out on loan because he did so poorly last year that he's playing for Besiktas in the Turkish league.
And
has
he's
scored
doing well in
8
Besiktas.
He scored 8 goals in 17 games.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say he hasn't done well. 8 goals, 17 games. He's doing.
Yeah.
But is this really the answer for Man United? Nope. A guy who can't cut it at Burnley?
So, well, here's the thing. You can look at it one or two ways. And I can only assume this is what what Eric Ten Hag is kind of looking at right now.
where he's going, hey, I'm going to ride with Anthony Martial right now as my forward because he's doing well, and I'm going to give him a shot. And I'm just going to turn the keys over. And he has been doing well. And, you know, he in his fairness, he has been, you know, kind of keeping up with pace and doing good. But they need a backup because they don't have one. They don't have anyone. Like, if he goes down, they're like, I guess we're going to throw Rashford there, and hopefully that works. So if you're looking for, if that's the mentality, and you're looking for a forward that's not going to be happy with moving to a bigger club, that's not going to demand to be a starter, that's in his 30s, that could potentially, that's a big body that's a little bit different, so you can put him on towards the end to kind of like, hey, we're going to play the ball in the box. That did show success when doing so with Wolfsburg, because when he was playing for them, he had 70 goals in 144 matches.
Wow.
But that's because guys were putting stuff into the box, and that was his job.
That's not Man United's style of play.
That's what?
That's not their style of play.
No, not really. But it depends on what you're going for.
And they're going for a different type of player.
Yeah.
That's a different type of player.
So,
that's the only thing I can say is they don't have a big man, a big body who can go and do that. So they need one. Now, I'll let you finish, and I'll tell you about the other rumor that was there.
Well, but you need one that is going to be okay with the role that he's going to be given. And I think that's where they're coming on. Is Waghorse will obviously be fine going to United, sitting on a bench and being asked to do upon him when called in. He's not going to be a player that's going to sit on the bench and be disgruntled. So if that's the case, and you don't feel like splashing a ton of money, and you're not sold on a João Felix or think that's going to be too much of a loan offer, and you're not sold on a Marcus Thuram, which, by the way, I'm not sold on a Marcus Thuram either, that could be the route you go. And it could be that he maybe didn't do good in Burnley. And I'm not just trying to sell this guy because he's tagged to United. I have my reservations with him as well. But as a backup role, and if you're rolling with Montreal, might not be a bad option. And it could be that he failed in Burnley and did well in Wolfsburg and is doing well in Besiktas, because Burnleys don't have the players that can get him the ball within the target area.
I'll agree with you. So it does look like Man United are going after that big number 9 type player, right?
Yep.
Because one of the other players they went after and who turned them down was Olivier Giroud.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people don't know, he turned them down because transferring from Italy, where he's currently at, AC Milan, to England, he would actually have to take a really, really big tax hit.
And
it's not worth it.
And it also could be that he's not going to be the starter. You know what I mean?
Be a bench player.
Well, you know, Giroud's coming to MLS, so, you know, like, why would he go to Man United?
True.
You know,
that won't
let's
happen
be
for another
honest.
year or so.
True.
But,
Yes.
But that's
but
the
you have
other
the
thing.
chance to go to a club who's playing at a very high level and could win the Premier. I mean, maybe not win the Premiership, but finish at a high level.
They could win the Europa.
And go back to England, where we know he likes playing Olivier Giroud, but he doesn't want to take the tax hits.
Yeah,
that's the given reason. He said,
understandable.
I want to take
And
the tax
also,
hit.
he's at this stage in his career with Euros in 2 years, if he wants to be on that French team, he needs to play. And if he's sitting on the bench, it's probably not his cup of tea.
Yeah.
That's the other factor.
This is true. United player Harry Maguire was seen in Birmingham the other day.
Yeah, I mean, when you take a left back and go, we're going to put that guy as a center back and not play Harry Maguire, who's perfectly fit and available, signs are on the door there that he's gone.
Yeah. Well, the rumors were that he was meeting with Aston Villa and he'd be signing imminently, but Fabrizio Romano, we all know who he is, has come out and said that is not happening. Both sides, Villa and Maguire, have said that is not happening. I think he was actually there and he was possibly meeting with Leicester City, his former club, Leicester City.
I don't know who he's meeting with, but clearly the guy's gone. I
Clearly,
mean,
he needs to be if he wants to resurrect his career, right?
Well, it's first thing, his career isn't dead because he was the starter for England. So your career's not dead.
There's still some talents in there, absolutely.
So
of course.
if he wants to remain the starter of England, he can't be on a team that's
top
flatly
half
out
of
said, we're not going to play you.
You'd be stupid not to be a top half of the EPL
Yeah.
table team and not sign him.
He's a good player in the right system, and I think he still can be. I think at United, he's used as a scapegoat. Anything and
I
everything
don't know about
goes
that.
wrong. Anything and everything goes wrong. They somehow
He's
tie it
not
back
Dutch
to-
enough to play in a Dutch system.
No,
that's
I don't know
why.
about that. I think
He's not playing in the right system.
He's had several managers that he's played under at United, several different systems.
He's not a good fit there. Don't know why, but some of that is with him.
Yeah.
Okay, because they brought in other center backs who are doing quite well, and don't make the errors. Every United fan knows he makes weird errors that cause goals.
Sure.
He is better at a smaller club where I think Man United and everyone, there's a lot of pressure to be put on you. Like when it's not that enormous amount of pressure at a bigger club, whereas as a Leicester where, like Leicester won one year, like the EPL, like it was not a fluke, but it was just a great season. Like, it's like the fans knew that like if we do this again, holy crap, but like, as long as we finish, close and we get into Europa League and maybe Champions League, I mean, great. So I think he's better at one of those types of clubs,
But
honestly.
clearly, Eric Ten Hag has said you're not
Dutch enough to play.
When you're taking a left back who's never played center back before and sticking him in there. By the way, Shaw did great those 2 games. So I don't want to hear that it's not the system. And you played a player out of position, and he did fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely. Playing next to.
By the way, your Man United's turning into like the B team of the Dutch national team. By the way,
Are we winning games? Yeah.
It could happen
I don't
because
care.
guess who else could be on his way back? Memphis Depay. Those rumors have popped up.
I've actually been a big advocate for Depay coming back. I think Depay would be wonderful coming back. He has openly said he was the problem at United, that his ego caused him to be pushed out. And
I think
that
he does have a big ego. I think he still has a big ego.
I don't know.
He
He openly said that he was the problem. I'd give him for his fee, which is next to nothing.
when you have to go
I
to
would
League,
absolutely take a second chance.
when you have to go to League One, that's outside of PSG to revive your career to like find playing time, like that says a lot.
Yeah, and that's when he said he was the problem. And since then, he's gone to Barcelona, and he did well at Barcelona.
He did well
and
at
then
Yes, he
Barcelona
did.
bought a bunch of players and said, even though you did well, we're not going to allow you back on the team.
Exactly.
We'll see if that happens. We'll see if he heads back to the red half of Manchester. Another one. This might get you both fired up a little bit. Pepe.
Yeah. Going back to Augsburg, huh?
Pepe.
No.
Okay.
Nope. Failed. All right. Can we all agree he failed at Augsburg?
Yeah,
Fails.
Nate can second that because I watched those games. Other people might not watch those games. I watched those games.
Failed at Augsburg.
He failed at
He is
Augsburg.
now at Groningen,
Where he's scoring.
where he's scoring goals in a very, very low-tiered league.
Yep.
And now the rumor is that teams, clubs in England want him.
Like Wolves.
Yeah. How?
Who was it? Wolves and what was the other team?
Because they want to sell a shirt.
Was it Everton?
No, it was Wolves and I think was it Burner? No,
It was Wolves and no, there was
it
another
wasn't
team
Villa. It
No,
was
definitely wasn't Villa. I would remember that one.
There was another low end team that was in there. It was Wolves and something else.
But either way,
Yeah.
a Premiership team, two
Yeah, that makes
Premiership
sense.
teams are
No,
sitting
it makes
around.
sense.
It was West Ham, wasn't it? Hold on, I shared
Nailed
this
it.
with you guys.
You nailed it. Yes,
Yeah.
it was West Ham.
West Ham, yeah.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, here's
Why
okay.
would you go back to the Bundesliga?
Here's-
Because clearly it's too much from
Agree,
go to the
agreed,
Premier
agreed.
League.
But here's I can see the thinking from West Ham because they're looking for the second coming of Mikel Antonio.
Yeah.
And Mikel Antonio, big body, can run, put his head on the ball, gets in there. They're looking for the next coming of Mikel Antonio. So I see what they're looking for there. Wolves, they've always liked big players they can lob the ball into and head the ball. How surprised would we be if he went to one of these teams and actually did well? I mean, it might blow us
You want-
away.
you wanna put
but
money
we
on
know
it?
there's a player in there. He's
You
still
wanna
19.
put money on it?
He's 19.
Oh man, my Seagulls are looking at Pepe too.
You want to put money on it?
There's
this is-
there's three teams sniffing around him.
No, it's
There's-
Brighton and Wolves are the two.
Okay. I'm not going to put money on it, but he is 19. There's a player in there.
Sure.
Yeah,
We've
but he
seen him
needs
score
to go.
goals.
You're not going to develop if you're not going to go somewhere where you can play and actually develop.
I think he will play at any of the, if they go to Brighton or Wolves. I
don't
think he
think
will
so.
play. Maybe it was just a bad fit at Augsburg. I'm not really sure, but that's an interesting one, right?
By the way, Tyson is thoroughly impressed with your graphics right
Yes, Michael Tyson likes the rumors.
Yeah, I'm sure.
now. And then
Yeah.
Kurt thinks he wants to go where there's less pressure and drink.
Yes. They've caught him a lot of videos have caught him out.
Luke is calling you out. He said, what? You said Villa isn't a big club when you were talking about Harry Maguire?
That's me. Yes, that's me. He's calling me out.
Who? Luke?
He's saying that because he's
Z?
my comment about Maguire going to a lesser club, that Villa is not a big club. But
And
no, there are a lot of Pepe videos of him going out and partying.
Really? I have not
Honestly, I've
seen
seen
those.
some stuff like on like when the Dutch beat the U.S. national team or whatever. I don't know if it was a bet or someone that he had to go into a club and like put the Dutch national team shirt on.
I did see that one. Yes.
I'm not saying he's a crazy partier, but like
He's no Winston McKinney.
he needs to focus.
He's next on our list, by the way. What were we gonna say, Nate?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, John's coming in with the Maguire's the white version of Chris Smalling.
Oh my wow.
He did well at Roma.
I like it, John. I like it. Nate, you did just mention Weston McKinney, and the rumors are still flying around there. Rumors are that Villa did make an offer to Juve for him, and Weston McKinney himself turned that down. He did not want to go to Villa. He wants to go to a Champions League team. Villa not in the Champions League, as we know. He thinks he can get to Chelsea or a club similar to
Chelsea is the biggest mistake ever.
Chelsea's great. I mean, they're signing everyone. So, like, this, they'll sign him.
Is he going to play?
No.
Hell no.
Why? I mean, they have 52 midfielders. He'll be 53.
He'll be the 53rd player in.
Yeah.
And
Good idea.
So does it not make
and
sense
the
for him to
23rd
go to
shipped out on loan.
like a Fulham or like a Brighton?
Go
You know
to
what I mean?
Newcastle.
Yeah.
He made it very obvious he didn't want to go to a team like that anywhere because Villa, who are in 11th, made
Is it
an
him
offer
or his
for him.
agent?
To Juve.
This is the question I always ask. Is it him or his agent?
To Juve. And they then said, they said you were allowed to, at Villa, you were allowed to talk to him. We'll allow you to talk to him.
No. I'm
And
saying
He's
said
asking
no.
who's pushing for it.
Is it him or his agent? Because usually the agent sometimes speaks up upon the half of the.
I mean, I couldn't tell you if it was him, but officially from his camp or his side, it was said no. So, no, he's definitely not going to a Fulham.
Because usually the agent wants this. And
Right.
the problem is.
He ain't going
They
to
want
Fulham or
fingers
Brighton
rubbing
if he said no to Villa.
What did the world's
Money.
most violent?
Money. Money.
What?
And then usually
Hey,
the
hold
player
on.
doesn't use this very much. And his head.
Oh, okay.
He has
For
hair.
heading the ball? I thought McKinney had the ball.
For thinking about where to play, so you can actually progress your
Listen,
career.
we all know agents are terrible. We all know agents are in it for the money. They're
Are
in
you
it for
guys
their
saying
own
that?
selves. I
Wait,
get it.
whoa. Hold on here. You guys are telling me agents are in this for the money?
I know, right?
What are you
Crazy to
talking
think.
about?
I know.
So, yes, one, Chelsea are signing everybody. And they're notorious as this. They've done this for years, but now
And they
they're on
loan
a
him
rampage.
out, but
They
they're
loan him out.
trying to stop that, but it's not working.
Nope.
It's not happening. But now they're bringing in a lot of new players. Guess who's still there?
All the old ones?
All the old ones.
All the ones on loan?
Including Christian Pulisic.
Yeah.
Who
Oh,
we have been saying for months needs to leave that club.
Well,
that's
did
why
he
Matt
get-
Miazga
I'm-
left Chelsea
I'm-
and came to MLS.
I'm still surprised that Newcastle haven't gone in for an offer for him.
But
Because I
here's
still
the
think
problem.
that's going to be the place he goes.
I think he got injured, did he not? Or
he did. He just got injured last
he
game.
So
did.
you can't
He
transfer a
did.
player when they're injured.
I
Yes,
know.
you can.
I thought you couldn't.
You 100% can.
Oh.
It's just if the club wants to take an injured player.
Yeah.
So the injured, it's happened multiple times. They'll take a lower price. Hey, you know what? We knew we were going to offer you $50 million for him, but he can't play for the next 2 months, so we'll only offer you $45 million. And then they agree, and then the medical team has to go in there and say, listen, he's not going to play for 2 months or whatever. But he did pull a hamstring from what I could see.
Yeah.
A hamstring or thigh or something like that. He is
I'm
injured.
starting to think
He's a bit
at
of
the
a
end of
China
his
doll, you know?
career, like, are we going to say he could have had a better career or whatnot if he didn't get hurt for
Yeah.
Pulisic?
Yeah.
Like,
Probably.
Like,
think we will- I think we
that's
will
going to
be
be
saying that.
the story of him after. And I hope the guy doesn't have like ACL surgery or something or whatever
Oh,
because.
he might be ruined
Or-
if he ever
yeah.
has that.
But like, I think that could be the story at one point. Is
People
like,
said this about
wow.
Erling Haaland a couple of years ago, right? Is this guy going to be a player? Now he's, knock on wood, able to stay healthy. And he didn't start today's match against Chelsea. And I got people texting me, why isn't he starting? Because it's an FA Cup match. They want to save him for the Premiership.
Weren't Chelsea playing their secondary guys anyways?
Because it wasn't needed.
No, they-
and they,
no,
and
they
they
played a
thumped the
bunch of
team
starters.
4-0.
I mean, they're just players in front of him for Man City, like Riyad Mahrez, who was starting and playing, and Alvarez. So putting the ball in the net and doing well, and that's the way it is. You can't start every game. There's just no way.
Yeah,
And
that was a strong lineup, though, too. I mean,
Yeah,
There's-
absolutely. Well, even even Man City's third lineup is a strong lineup compared
Yeah.
to most.
Yes.
Right? Same with Chelsea, really, with
Yes.
all the players they buy. But Pulisic needs to move, injured or not. He needs to move, and I still. There's what are we on the 8th day today? There's still 22 days left, 23 days left in the window, and I think Newcastle will be the club to come in. I think there's probably negotiations going on behind the scenes, and I don't think it would be. I think it'd be a good spot for him because I do think Newcastle will make Champions League next year. The way I think their spot right now.
Yeah. I still think it's outside the EPL. That's the move. That's the move.
I think it's state. I think he wants to prove himself even more, and I think he wants to play in the top league for as long as he can because he knows once you leave the league, you might not be able to get back in there. So I don't know. It's interesting. We'll have to see what happens there.
See, the thing is, like, do you sacrifice your career by possibly never really playing, like staying in the league, or do you go somewhere where you know you can be effective and then play for the national team and do well? Because really, I don't care. I don't care about his
money.
I don't care about how he does in the. I don't care if he's like, ends up as the best American player in the EPL. I don't care about that.
He cares about that.
I don't care. I want him to help us win a World Cup in 2026. That's all I care about.
He's not playing in the best league in the world against the best players in the world, helping him.
I think starting consistently and playing in another good league like the Bundesliga or Serie A or La Liga would be helpful for him, especially in a Champions League team in one of those leagues.
Yeah, valid point. I think he wants. I mean, he's 23. He wants to make it in the EPL. He wants to be the best American in the EPL, and I think he thinks, as he should think, that he can do it. And he's just not playing at Chelsea for whatever reason. But let's say he goes to Newcastle. I think he'd be a consistent starter there. And
what about a different country? Michael comes in would Pulisic going into a Real Madrid or just La Liga in general, maybe not Madrid.
Real Madrid would be a good one. I don't think they would be, but like
I don't
Atletico.
think he'd play at Real Madrid. I just don't think.
I mean, okay, just La Liga in general.
What about back to a Dortmund or to a
Too good for him.
I think he's
honestly,
done that.
If he were to go to Dortmund, I don't know where he would play.
Well, if he went to Bundesliga, what team would be a good fit, Nate?
He kind of shot himself in the foot because the teams that are good have really good players that play in his spot.
Yeah.
And what he should have did years ago before the Sadio Mane came to Munich, because I always thought he should make the transfer there.
Yeah.
And then play for a better team there for a few years.
Yep.
And then jump to the But now you can't go to Munich because they got too many wide players. You can't go to Dortmund. They got too many wide players.
I still think AC Milan with Zlatan would do him very well.
Yeah, maybe Italy.
I just think he needs to
Cologne.
I think it's
I'll go to Cologne. Kirk comes in with send him to Cologne, Germany. I mean, they party there, so you'll enjoy that one. Yeah. They got Carnival. It was good times.
One of the other rumors I saw today was actually Bayern Munich's Jonathan Davies, Canadian Jonathan Davies, is being monitored by Real Madrid.
I can see that.
But didn't he sign a new contract with Bayern?
He did,
but he's also been. I think he's been on the bench a bit now. But
everyone's been working in off the bench, since coming back to the World Cup.
And you know what happens when Real Madrid come calling? Players cannot resist it.
Who is their left back right now?
Jonathan Davies.
Tomorrow will be Jonathan Davies.
Yeah,
I mean,
can't remember off the top.
I don't think he's as memorable as Marcelo was as a left back.
Oh, good Lord, no.
And does Jonathan Davies have more potential than Marcelo?
Yeah,
is he a better athlete? He may be a better athlete than Marcelo.
I don't want to give him.
I'm sorry. Were you asking
who's the left back from Real Madrid?
From Real Madrid. Okay.
Yes.
So that is a good question. We can look that up.
I mean, if you have a guy like, Mbappe. The problem is you put him on the same side as Mbappe, it really negates what he wants to do to get forward, unless Mbappe wants to play in the half space.
Whoa, Mbappe plays for PSG. What are you doing?
He's going to get bought by Real Madrid. We already know this.
I thought United was going to buy him. Stop it, you.
Stop it.
So let's see here. They got, I think, is Alba playing left back? No, he's playing center back right now. Sometimes he plays left.
So it essentially be like Vinicius, Benzema, and Mbappe as your front three.
Mendy.
Oh, Mendy, yes.
Mendy.
I don't know if we get in front of Mendy.
It'd be good competition.
Would be.
Vasquez
Maybe they might want to sell him and go younger.
I mean, that's the thing.
Because they want to win Champions League again.
Davies has more upswing.
Does.
He
still has a lot more to go.
Yeah, he has probably
injury prone right now. He's been injured for almost a solid year.
He has.
Yeah, and I don't even like Canadians. Full disclosure. Hate Tim Hortons. But even I can't.
Nate Janulis at hotmail.com is where you can reach him, and I would like you to tell him your thoughts on what he thinks.
Yeah, Tim Hortons sucks. Come at me. And you know what? Canada is one of my rivals, so because of
at
USA.
Nate Janulis on Twitter.
So let's go.
Yeah.
Bring it. Anyways, but even I can't, as a Canadian avid Maple Leaf hater.
Ryan Reynolds just threw his shoe
I
somewhere.
can bring it, Ryan. I think I can outbench you. Anyways,
But we like his gin.
however, I do like your gin, and Deadpool is awesome, and I love everything else you do. Anywho, he's one of the best, outside backs in the world.
He has very good potential.
Period. He's one of the best outside
And
backs in the world.
the thing is about him, he affects
Thank
the
you.
game
Thank you,
so
BJ.
much for Canada.
Yeah.
Like, he is so needed for them. Like, and he affects the game for club and national team. Like, there are so few players that do that, to be honest with you.
He is a good player. I think it will happen. But yes. All right, let's move on. One other
Just
thing I want
before
to
we move on, VJ, I see eye to eye in the Canadian problem.
you and VJ see eye to eye on the Canadian. Did you say problem?
I shouldn't say a problem, because the reality is, if we don't want them to exist for whatever reason, we would just take it over and Canada would be one giant Michigan. Just be Michigan 2.
VJ told me Bloodsport's on Hulu and Amazon, so that's my assignment to watch it. I have
Absolutely.
both.
Before the next We Are Soccer
Nothing,
live
VJ.
show.
Nothing, VJ.
All right,
Nothing is
we're
worse.
We're moving on. One thing I'm going to get to
Yeah.
real quick, because I know Michael Tyson is on the chat. Virgil van Dijk has gone down with a hamstring injury, and he'll be out for up to 2 months. Liverpool are showing their weakness, which has been their bench for the past 2 years. They've been very lucky that it hasn't shown more. Liverpool could very well drop like a stone.
Below 10th?
Liverpool, probably not that far. They're not going to go to Chelsea back.
Who's going to drop further?
Chelsea or Liverpool?
That's a great question.
It's a race to the bottom.
It is.
It's a race below 10.
But here's the thing.
'Cause-
if he stays out for 2 months, they don't get any good backups. Chelsea continue to struggle. This is going to allow 2 other teams to get up into the top 4, 5, 6 spots. We could see
Fulham
some,
could get into the top 6.
Yeah, I think by the end of the
They're
year
at
they'll
7
drop
right
out.
now, and
Here
they're tied with Liverpool.
I think they'll drop out. But yes, I mean,
My
it's
Seagulls.
going to be interesting.
My Seagulls
They've
to
been-
Europa League.
I thought they'd drop quicker than they have. They're still there.
Yeah.
Wait, Greg.
So the European, the teams that go to Europe next year for England could be very wildly different from what we've seen in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Yes, Nate.
Are you telling me that Konstantinos the Greece player can't just step in? That guy? That guy.
I actually know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
No. he
No?
forgot.
Oh.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive.
Seems
do
good.
not- I know
He's
you
got a
don't know.
really big name.
Yeah, I know.
Most
Yeah.
Greek guys usually do.
All right,
Okay.
I do want to get to this last subject, last topic on the show, boys, before we only got about 7 minutes left. Wage structures. There was a big argument
Ooh.
today on the Facebook group about wage structures. The rumor is that Erik ten Hag and Manchester United are putting a wage structure into place at the club.
Brilliant.
No one is to earn more than £200,000 a week. Now, yes, that is a lot of money. Essentially, because the dollar and the pound are the same, it's about $200,000 a week. That's a lot of fucking money.
It is.
£200,000 a week. No player is to earn more than that. Now, there are several players in the league who do earn more than that. Several at
Man U.
Liverpool, Man City.
There's like 5 or
Chelsea.
6 at Man U.
Right. So what has to happen? So here's what's going to happen. Current players who. Oh, good lord. Sorry, I was distracted there. Current players who are on contracts. Current players who are on contracts who are earning more than $200,000. When they go to re-sign their contract with Man United, new contract, they'll have to take a pay cut and get down to the limit of the cap.
This
as
is
we're
the
calling it.
smartest idea
This is
ever.
brilliant.
It is because you're not wasting money on players, and maybe you can actually stay net
You're both
neutral,
idiots.
or actually
tell me why. Yes, continue.
because maybe financially you stop being in the negative, and maybe you actually
Oh, that doesn't
break
matter.
even.
No, that doesn't matter at all. Nope. Next.
No, that wasn't. I mean, everyone knows my Facebook argument and everything, but my thing is my main argument, besides that tiny one I just said, was that the best part about this is that players need to earn what they think they're paid, because everyone is
That's not how it works
overpaid.
these days. Everybody's overpaid.
I have
in the league.
always thought it should be.
I think it should be
like
that way too, but it's not that way. It's just not the way it is.
Like, it's stupid
Should
when
they
a
be
guy.
making £200,000 a week?
I think it's stupid when a guy gets relegated into the championship and then an EPL team signs him and the guy was on 20 million and like, oh, now you're worth 20 more million or 30 more million.
Just, I'm going to wait until the guy who knows more about United is asked upon. Go ahead.
I don't care if it's United, if it's Man City or Chelsea or whatever.
Everyone should do this.
This actually is really important. No, you can't do this as Villa. And I think this is very smart.
How can you do that? How can you do it as United and not as Villa? How can Chelsea do it and Villa can't? How can any club? It's the same thing around every club. Tell me.
Tell me, Man United, man.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So for years, United have been had by many players who just come in for a paycheck. A lot of them. What? No, I know they're not the only
I
team.
believe this,
Did
though.
you see the incentives that they get for doing certain things? Those incentives will make those players a lot of money.
Yes.
200,000 isn't that far of a drop from what most of these guys are making.
Correct. And most of them get their money in sponsorships anyways.
They're not. No, they're. Yep. And he will make more if they make the Champions League. This is actually a brilliant move. This is where Eric Ten Hag said we've signed the wrong players over the years and we're going to stop doing that. This is where that then comes to play.
Correct.
And this is how you get those players in. And if you don't want a player, if a player is not going to stick around because of a weekly salary with incentives and bonus, this is not the transfer fee. Transfer fee is a whole nother ballgame. Or bonuses or something.
We're just talking about wages.
So
We were just talking about wages, not transfer fee.
So which is a portion of what they make. I think this is a brilliant move done at a brilliant time. And the reason why it was a brilliant move done at a brilliant time is because this is on the backs of them and their win streak that has been going on and them doing very well. So if they keep this up and they keep progressing like this, I see this as a very smart thing and a very smart move.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is how you get out of that loop. This is how you get out of the Paul Pogbas and the Di Marias and some of these players who are just coming here as a stopping point because you're United and you need players
and overpay
and they
for
know
a player.
that you're going to overpay. Now we have a policy and we're not going to overpay.
Exactly.
And that's why it's different from Villa
if you
or
want
Liverpool or some
Villa
of these clubs.
overpay players?
If you want more money,
Not to the tune that United has.
United has and look where Villa are. They're down in 11th.
Yeah.
United.
And look what United bought this season and what has that done for them. They bought quality players that wanted to be there and they didn't break the bank for it. Despite trying with 1-1, and that probably went away, which is probably the best thing for them. And it has worked.
Man United have said, if you want all the money, you need to fucking win.
Yep.
This
is not how the real world works, boys.
Well, we'll see.
So
this is sports. This is not the same game.
You guys are crazy. Have you ever dealt in sports before? Listen. Okay, so let's pretend Mbappe. I just disconnect my mic. I did. Let's just pretend Mbappe says, "I want to go play in England."
Okay.
I want to play in England.
Okay.
Okay, so who's coming calling, Nate? What teams can afford Mbappe?
Yeah, United maybe, Liverpool, Chelsea, City.
Well, let's just say the big three spenders, the big four spenders. There you go.
Can I ask you a question?
No.
Before you finish this, because I'm gonna say one thing that's gonna prove all this shit wrong. Nope. Yeah, Holland. Rest my goddamn case. He did not.
Nope.
No, he didn't.
£350,000 a week, and his
was that
agent,
the most? Was that the most he could have got?
He could have got more, right?
He could have got a lot more than that.
He wanted to go there.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, you're missing the point.
I think we're agreeing.
No, you're missing the point.
No, I think we just
Mbappe wants to go to England, right? Let's pretend Mbappe wants to go to England. 4 big spenders.
Yep.
Chelsea, Man United, Man City, and Liverpool. Those 4 big spenders. They all come calling. They all meet the offer of $150 million transfer fee, right? Every single one of them gets a meet with him. One offers $400,000, the other offers $350,000, the other offers $300,000, and United come with $200,000.
That's not what United's
Where does he go?
That's not what United's offer is.
Oh no! Guaranteed money of £400,000 a week. Okay. But United come with you will get £200,000 a week. And if you score a lot of goals and make so many starts, that extra money will come to you.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question.
No one's going to take that.
Really?
No one's going to take that.
Because Holland went for less money. So you're wrong.
No one's going to take that.
Holland went for less money.
Holland wanted to go there.
That's my point. So
Why would anybody want to go to United to earn less money?
Why did Holland want to go to City to earn less money?
Pep Guardiola and the team he's got.
There you go.
United don't have that team.
And we're done. And you're agreeing with me.
United don't have that team.
They
United haven't finished first. When was the last time they finished first? When was the last time they won anything?
You're going off that now. They believe that they're going to do that.
I'm telling you, it's not going to happen.
Why?
This exact same thing happened to me.
Okay.
This exact same thing happened to me.
You can't compare Villa to United.
No, this happened to me personally.
Okay.
Personally.
United went and offered you $300,000?
No, college recruiting.
Okay.
I had 5 schools contact me and say, we will give you 1-year scholarship and a guaranteed starting position.
Okay.
Guaranteed time. You come to us, we'll guarantee it. Your scholarship, you got to earn it. You got to play well to get it for next year. I had one school come to me and say, I'm not guaranteeing you anything except for your scholarship.
Were
4 years.
They a bigger college?
4 years. No, they were the same. They were the
Okay.
same.
Was
Same
MSU that
levels.
one? Was MSU that lone one?
They said, we're not going to take, you get this scholarship for 4 years no matter what. There was a school at a higher level who said, no, you got to come and earn it.
Okay, so the better school said you got to actually.
And I said, what happens if I step on the campus day one and do my knee? The scholarship is there for 4 years. The other one said, well,
it's not there.
I'm sorry, that doesn't happen.
Correct.
You're going to have to go home.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to continue here anymore.
Okay. What's your point? I'm sorry.
I took the offer, the guaranteed offer.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, but is there not guarantees in what these players are getting?
No, there's a £200,000 guarantee.
Right.
The
and
others,
if the team, hold on, and if the team, because these were
you
team
break your
bonuses,
leg, you're not part of the team. You're on the
you're
side.
still on the squad.
So you're going to
still part
earn.
of the
You're
team.
going to get that money.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a team incentive.
There's individual incentives.
There's also individual incentives.
And what happens?
There's team incentives.
What
There's
happens?
also guarantees in there with $200,000. There's also lump sum payments. There's also signing bonuses. And
they won't earn the guaranteed £400,000 a week that Man City are offering. You take the guarantee. Trust
Holland
me,
didn't take
I've
the guarantee.
seen clubs do this.
And
it
Holland
doesn't work out. They're not a top 4.
Did they
They're not a top 4 team.
United's not a top 4 team right now?
They don't have this in place right now.
But is United not?
De
a top
Gea's
4
going to
play?
leave.
Maybe. Actually, De Gea's working on a new
Well, they
contract.
already signed Butland, didn't they? Didn't they sign Jack Butland?
Yes, they did.
That is not a good replacement
but
for De Gea.
But no,
De Gea's going to go, wait a minute, you want me to take £150,000? Fuck that, I'll go back to Madrid.
Okay, we'll see.
I guarantee. It's funny because
He's overstayed his welcome anyways, Dave.
this is divided in our group. It divided the Man United fans. I saw 2 of them say, this is the stupidest thing ever. And 2 of them said, oh, I love it. And I went, I've seen clubs do this. And you're going to drop like a stone.
Your solution is to sign the Paul Pogbas in the world.
No, you sign better players. You don't go out and spend money.
Paul Pogba at the time that he came over was, I believe, one of the best midfielders.
You signed him for the second time.
Yeah, and he was one of the best midfielders. And Di Maria was one of the best outside players in the world. And they all came here for large sums of money and did fuck all. And guess what? Then they went to other clubs.
So players,
and got paid
these
less.
other players got to play because the executives are stupid and sign those guys?
No, it's figuring out, it's weeding out who actually wants to be part of your program and not.
Yeah.
It is. You're right. It is. You know who wants to be part of your program?
Yep.
Not the guaranteed players like Holland or Mbappe.
Right.
The stars, tomorrow's stars.
Yeah, again, Holland went to City, not because of the money that he could have raked him over, but because of what now? Because of what? Because of what?
How are you comparing Man City to Man United?
But it's the same strategy, Craig. I'm not comparing City to United.
One has the potential to win the Champions League. The other's nowhere near it.
I understand that. So what you want to do is build a squad of players that actually want to be there so you can be successful like City and not just go spend cash like you're doing with Chelsea. So you're saying the Chelsea rule is good?
There's no Chelsea rule.
You're saying the Chelsea philosophy of throwing money around, just buying whoever you need, selling it, buying your way? Because that's working great for them, isn't it?
Well, that's the one that Man United have been
That's
on,
what
right?
United were doing. Yes, you're
so they got. So you're
correct.
saying they just got to try something different?
Yeah, they're trying something different. What's wrong with it?
It's going to backfire.
Okay, we'll see.
Man United.
Because so far,
is going to drop.
So far, last transfer window, window, they brought a bunch of players that wanted to come, and they're doing fantastic.
Jadon Sancho's not doing so well. Anthony's doing okay.
And that wasn't last transfer
Anthony's
window.
doing okay. I'd like to see his
And that wasn't
wages.
last transfer window.
What's
That
he
was
on?
2 transfer windows ago. They brought in Casemiro. Is Casemiro doing well? Yes or no?
Oh, Casemiro's
Is he
doing
a
well.
long-term
He's not on
one?
200,000 pounds a week.
No, he's not.
He's on about 350, right?
Is Ericsson doing well?
He's on about 350 because he came as almost a free.
Yeah. Okay.
So then he's going to have to take a pay cut.
Is Anthony doing well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Debatable.
I think he's doing pretty well. Is Martinez doing well? Center back.
Yeah, he's doing right.
Okay.
He's definitely not 300.
Okay. So you think these guys might know what they're doing a little bit?
Do you think any of them would have come if Man City would have offered them more money?
What? Would it come? I don't
Any
know.
of those players you just named, if Man City would have offered them a guaranteed $350 a week, Man United was only offering $200.
Man City's in a different boat, and you know that.
You're the one who keeps telling me about Holland and Man City.
I'm using that as an example. Holland didn't go to Madrid when he could have.
Yeah, he wanted to challenge himself in the league, in the Premier League.
And he went for less money, didn't he? Because he could have got more money. And that's my point.
Yeah,
And that's the point I'm trying to make. You keep looking at other teams within the Premier League. I'm looking outside of there. He could have got a lot more money going to PSG, could have got a lot more money going to Madrid that are in the Champions League. And last time I checked, Madrid won the Champions League.
You're going to get B
He went
players.
to City because he believed in the project and believed in the coach. And that's what Tag Hand is asking of the new signees.
You're going to get B and C level players because there's so many other options for them to go.
I don't think so.
Guaranteed money. And we all know how sports athletes, their careers are so short. They got to earn the most amount of money they can in the shortest
You're
amount of
acting
time.
like they're not getting a huge upfront bonus and that they're only getting a small chunk of change on a
So they're
weekly
going to get
basis.
like a $20 million bonus.
No, you're acting like that the transfer fee.
No, the transfer fee is nothing.
And the signing fee, right? The signing bonus. Sign your contract here. Here's $20 million. You're acting
So what's
like
the
those
point of
don't
doing
exist.
200,000 pounds a week if you're only going to
But
give
those
them
are
$20
all
million?
part of the pay structure already, Craig. It's already there.
So this is all bullshit then. What Man United
Bingo.
are doing? What Man United are doing is bullshit.
They're
going to give you $20 million up front.
They're saying there's more pay incentive if you do well. They're going to give
Which
you
no
more
one
money.
wants to buy into.
But you're acting like they're not getting any money at all, that they're going hand in hand like a free college transfer and some guaranteed college. It's not the same. These guys are getting still millions of dollars. They're going to get an extra couple million if they do well. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
And what happens if they don't do well for a couple of years?
Well, it's
on
on
them
now, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's on the rest of the team because you signed a bunch of fucking monkeys.
I mean, you get like individual incentives, then you get team incentives.
Yes,
Listen,
that's all this is.
And you get
I
shit ton of
want-
sponsorship
I
money.
want professional sports to work this way.
Sure.
I want it to work that way. I want professional sports in this country to work that way. I want professional sports in England to work that way, in Europe to work that way. That's not how
But
it
it's
works.
not what you're saying. You're going like, oh, these guys aren't going to make any money. They're just
No.
They're making
Oh, they're making
boatload of money
stupid
still.
money.
He's just
They
saying
could
when
make
it
more
comes to
stupid money somewhere else.
decisions, yes, he's talking about the financial decisions that there's that between the team that's restraining something and the one that has just can go buck wild with
But
things.
you're acting like that. These are two different things, right?
I understand that, but they're not.
If the net sum, let me explain some stuff here. If the net sum from City is $3 million and the net sum from United is $3 million, spread over some other shit.
Sure.
Oh, but you also could get an extra $1 million if you do well. That's what they're saying.
But most contracts,
They're not saying they're not going to be competitive.
Correct.
They're saying they're tacking on
correct.
performance
You're
based bonus at the
essentially
end.
you are essentially just backloading a contract with all these incentives, saying that if is such is
and
achieved,
backloading.
yes, because that's what contracts do anyways. They front and
Right.
backload stuff
Trust
anyways.
me, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's not how it's going to go. City and Chelsea and Liverpool are going to go, they're guaranteeing you $3 million plus $1 million if you do well. We'll just guarantee you the $4 million.
And this
so
goes
even
back-
if you don't do well, you still get the $4 million.
This just goes back to my Facebook group comment on it, where I said the teams that want to play for the crest, that want to play for the club, are
Players
going.
don't care anymore.
Really?
I think there are
100%
some
players
that
do not
Holland
care.
doesn't
Dude.
care?
You think he cares about Man City? He wants to fucking win. He doesn't care where he wins. He just
Yeah.
wants to win.
So if you have a good and winning program, which is what Eric Tag had is setting up here.
He's hoping to have.
Yeah, and this
Yes.
is not in place yet. So once
Yeah.
they set this up, then they're able to do that, right?
I still think you'll get the B and the C players and the A players to go to the Liga and they earn more money. That's guaranteed.
Right, because Holland went to City because of the money.
Holland.
He passed up money at Madrid and went to City because they offered him more money.
He had his eye on Man City for a couple of years.
Right, why?
I think the world is
Pep
changing
Guardiola
a
and what
bit.
he's got
Okay,
said. He wants to
so
win the
again, we're in
Champions League.
agreement.
I'm going
We're in
to.
completely
No,
different
we're not.
arguments.
We're saying the same thing.
I
And
think
we're
the
10
world
minutes
is
over.
changing
You
enough.
just how are we? You said that they're not in the same boat. Man City and Man United.
No, I'm using that as an example. I'm using Madrid and City as the example. I said he went to City not for the money, for the program. Madrid would have offered him more. Hell, PSG would have offered more.
And your dream is to have Man United be in that program that people want to go to.
Isn't anyone's dream to be in that program? To be the top dog, to where you can bring players in because of what you do?
Man City got to that because they offer £350,000 a week to players. There's no incentives. There's no, if you win, we'll give you more. It's just, we're buying the best players.
They also hit on several players that did well.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the big difference. They overpaid for players. They're overpaying, but they hit upon players.
Mm-hmm.
Their executives did the right work, the homework.
Mm-hmm.
We've been over this before. Man City and Man United have spent the exact same amount of money.
Yeah.
Man City
One-
does better homework.
Yeah.
Does better homework.
Yep.
And pays their players better, which needs some more winning.
Right.
Yeah.
And United's last 4 transfers, are they doing good or bad?
I mean, in the 6 months
Because you
they've
can't
been there,
go.
It's better than
you
the-
can't go outside of 6 months because it's a new goddamn regime, isn't it?
I'm telling you,
Was he here
And
fucking
you're-
5 years ago?
you're going to hamstring him.
Was
You're
he
gonna-
here 6 years ago?
I
Or was he
don't-
here 6 months ago?
I don't think this is him. I
Fuck!
think this is Man United
Yeah,
executives.
thank you, goddamn Grealish. How's he fucking doing for 120 million? Fuck me.
Well, he's setting up a lot of plays for Holland.
Setting up for who? He's not playing. He's riding the goddamn pine. His asshole hurts.
I think he's doing all right.
Yeah.
And you know what?
And you know what?
Anybody could have bought him, but one team did buy him.
And you know what? He left your Villa, who you sat there and said he wasn't going to go because he loves the badge, to a team where he's sitting there fucking riding pine on his asshole. Rest my case.
Just like any player wants to go for more money. Doesn't care about the badge, just wants to win and for the money.
And that's...
He probably had his chance to go to United, probably had his chance to go to Chelsea, probably had his chance to go to Liverpool, and he said, well, Man City are winning and they're offering me more money, so I'm going to go there.
Yeah, and that's what Holland did too, right?
And they're all winning.
And Holland did the same.
Jack Grealish did the same. Kyle Walker did the same. I mean, that's
And
that's why those players
you know
went
who
there.
perpetually shells out a lot of shit ton of money for players?
Chelsea?
PSG.
Yeah.
How are they doing in the Champions League?
They lost.
They're in a joke of a league, and that's why they do well. And they go out of there. You know who
But
doesn't
why
do
do
that?
players go there?
You know who doesn't do that? Munich also doesn't do that.
Right.
And how are they doing?
But why did some of the 3 of the best players in the world go to PSG?
I don't think Neymar is one of the best players in the world. He's a fucking joke.
He's a good player.
All right, we're 13 minutes over the hour. There's 2 minutes left in the goddamn Lions game. They're up. Can we flip?
I don't
Can we
care
close
about the
this shit
Lions.
out and watch that?
I don't care about the Lions. They suck. All right, that was fun. We will see you guys, not next week because I'm out of town, but we will have some fun content for you. We will see you the following week with another live show, and I'm sure Nate and I will still be screaming at each other. Hopefully I've got my voice back. Thank you again to Next Level Training. Thank you again to Soccer World. We very much appreciate the help. Listen, guys, if you could, do us a huge favor. Go to Next Level Training's Instagram page, their Twitter, their Facebook. Give them a like. Do the same for Soccer World. We appreciate it. Give us a like. Give us a share. Share our stuff. We very much appreciate it. It's been fun doing this. And until we see you next time.